Good evening, race fans. We're here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Herpes Forever 400. I'm your host, Demar Sickenbottom, with Carlos Costa in the production truck pushing all the buttons. For the start of the round of 8, it's race 33 on the season for the 100% Cup Series tonight. And we go playoff racings. We got some stats on the screen. The weather's looking pretty good tonight, so should be some fun racing. Multi-groove racetrack here at Las Vegas. So we should expect to see the bottom, middle, and even the top lane in use tonight amongst the guys.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here for a lovely and beautifully temperatured race here at Las Vegas. That's right. I had a little brain fart. But why don't we go ahead and put up the beginning of the round of 8 here before Las Vegas points. Jonathan Delaney, because of his regular season's shenanigans or winnings or whatever you want to call it, plus 19. Lucas Hoytsma plus 13. Rookie Andrew Dyson plus 5, and the currently in Robert Miller with a plus 1 advantage. Outside your final 4 possible finishes, Alex Murray, Patrick Gitter, also a rookie, Bobby Anderson, and Matt DiCianni.
Yep. Tight on the cut line as we go into race 33. Rookie points. Patrick Gitter still has that commanding lead out in front of Andrew Dyson, who made up a whole bunch of points at the Roval, maxing out there with an additional win as well. Clayton Hoffman, Jim Sofield, and Mark Paget round out your top 5. Mark Paget is in the house tonight. The team standings, Dirty South Racing continues to walk away from the former champions of Apex Racing with Team Conti, Loudmouth, Prodigy, Elite. So that's top 8. Staying about what it's been for the second half of the season, but expecting to see some movement there. Hopefully, Manufacturers Championship against Chevrolet's just the bow ties are dominating. Ford's fighting back. Still waiting for that elusive Toyota win. So let's hope that Bobby Anderson and that 5 Kellogg's machine can make something happen. Your starting grid tonight. Let's see, we got Bobby Anderson on the pole. Bobby, who had a great race. Actually, Carlos took a look at the race last year, and he was phenomenal in that race as well. I think he also started on pole. So Matt DiCianni round out your top row, followed by Heitman and Gitter on the second row. Dyson, Long, 5th and 6th. Delaney and Lucas Hoytsma round out that 4th row. Alex Murray starting in 9th. Jim Schofield in 10th. 11th and 12th are Pearson and Benefield as we roll to 13th. Nolan Hodgson and Jedi Taylor. Followed by Daniel Simmons in that 06 machine and Sean O'Brien Jr. Wayne Grass in 17th, Kyle Ammon in 18th. 19th is Mark Paget. 20th is Dalton Mobley, who's decided to join us tonight. Good to see the 77 out here. Jamie Knopf in 21st, Tanner Marty in 22nd. Carl Dodson making a return for competition here in the 2-car in 23rd. Jeff Chandler in 24th. And Randy Drumhill taking the provisional will round out your field in the 25th position. So,
do we have any brand new racers here tonight?
No rookies, unfortunately, could not quite get through the tryout. So hopefully we'll get a new crop in for the next race. So, but yep, nope, no new cars. So all the guys should be familiar with the procedures and the racing. More importantly, they're all familiar with each other as the pace car lights are out. As we exit turn 4, the pace car is going to duck on off into pit road, and we're under control of Bobby Anderson, who goes early. And he is gone and away, and we are underway here at the Herpes Forever 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for lap 1. Side-by-side racing. Looks like a decent jump by Bobby Anderson. Derek Heitman followed by him down into turn 1, so he's already looking, stalking, trying to figure out a way around him. We got the EPI boys up top, Patrick Gitter and Matt DiCianni on the backstretch. We already got drivers. Adam Benefield is dropping out of the way here. And
does he have a penalty or some kind?
I do not know. I don't hear anything on the radio just yet. Let's see if he continues on or if he pulls into pit road. He may just be getting out of the way again. Adam Benefield, unfortunately, was eliminated last race at the Roval, so he is no longer racing for a championship in 2023, but here to support Team Conti and his teammates that are still in that fight. As we watch Bobby Anderson in the number 1 position, continue to lead. Now, the name of the game tonight here, Carlos, will be tire saving and fuel strategy as usual. So as we leave the Roval where tires really didn't matter, back in play tonight here at Las Vegas. The guys here will be taking it easy the first few laps. So the key is to maintain your track position without sliding backwards and using those tires as you need them. We got 8 sets here tonight at Las Vegas, so that should be more than enough barring we get a slew of cautions here for the guys to manage. But you never know. So we should be good in that regard. The fuel number tonight, as again we watch Derek Heitman still continue to stalk that #1 position, the 5 Kellogg's machine of Bobby Anderson. Fuel number tonight. So what I was hearing from the guys was around 65 is about the upper limit of what you're going to be able to do on a fuel stint. Again, I think tires for most, at least the first 2 stages, will kind of dictate. You'll probably split those stages. So I'd expect around lap 50 or so, we'll see these guys pitting. And for those that want to try to get a little bit of an undercut and make up some position, maybe gamble on a later caution, maybe around lap 40, 45 or so. It's probably what I expect to see, but time will tell. As the field is still here side by side, again, multi-lane racing here at Las Vegas. Around the white line is where you want to be. As we see John Delaney working with Alex Murray here and Dyson stuck on the outside. But you can defend in that middle lane and you can make speed in that middle lane. And if you absolutely need to, so you may see this as we have comers and goers tonight, you are able to work that top line to make up positions and take away the turn 2 and turn 4 exit from drivers and get that run down the backstretch. It was a tactic that even I used quite a bit last night in the Division 2 race. So we'll see who employs that. I want to keep an eye on the 2-car tonight. He had a great run last night, just fantastic in D2. Apparently the EPI team members, Carl Dotson there, have worked with him to get some of his wheel settings straight and Fanatec profiles all squared away. And the speed that he's been able to make now that he can feel more of the track and understand what the car is doing. He was talking to him earlier saying that he's able to drive off the right rear, which he's never been able to do, as we watch him work this 8th position on the high side, Carl Dotson, and now that speed is truly unleashed. So we'll see if he's able to convert that into a good finishing position. Again, not in the playoffs here in 2023, but still looking to get some checkered flags here and take some victories home. As we're watching him follow Neil Pearson, who's back tonight, missed the Roval of the 62 machine. The fighting Aussie here who won our Indy road course race early in the season. As Carl Dotson makes a move and he drives down deep into turn 3 to take that position on the high side by side by Neil Pearson. It looks like Neil may just let him go there. Yep.
Yeah, it seems like whatever, as you mentioned, was being worked on with Carl Dotson's machine and rig is playing dividends here tonight, like it paid off last night here. As we're looking on board, you talk about him driving off the right rear. Well, he's definitely driving it really hard, and he's shown a lot of speed in these first 8 laps of this first 80-lap stage here tonight. My only concern, as you mentioned earlier, it's a fuel and tire wear race tonight, and a question would be if he wears out his stuff too quickly, but he's got the speed right now, and he's showing that he's tired of being in the back. He wants to spend some time in the front with all the cool fellas.
Yeah, as we watch Bobby Anderson defend from Derek Heitman there on the back stretch as they round now through 3 and 4 and back onto the front stretch. So Bobby Anderson is definitely seeing that speed that Carl Dotson is able to make there. As now Dotson will challenge for the lead going down the front stretch. So he's going to the front. Yeah, Carlos, so tires are critically important here tonight. Again, we'll see some tire fall off on the lap times as we get through the stints here, as Carl Dotson does take that lead away from Bobby Anderson, who still may be in save mode, maybe not quite unleashing all the speed here. I will say we did see Carl Dotson last night was able to experiment and willing to play with the pit strategy. So doing what the leaders weren't doing and going with some alt strats to try to get the checker flag. And he's not in the playoffs, so not points racing here in college racing mode, trying to get that checker flag here. And he's chosen to go ahead and use that pace that he has early, but we will see. Maybe he can keep this up and the fall off isn't as great as his competitors. So we'll see that here in quite a bit. I would expect, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 laps is about when you will see the separation and the fall off. So that 20 to 25 mark, as you watch Dalton Mobley and Wayne Grass side by side through 3 and 4, trying to fight and keep their positions. And we're 2 by 2 here. It looks like a couple cars all the way up there. As we have, I believe that is Sean O'Brien Jr. just in front of them, and that Art Cat blacked out car and his teammate in front of him in the Supreme machine. And we see the pink Chevrolet of Nolan Hodgson in the 12 car, also fighting here in the mid pack. And this is where I expect to see all the action, Carlos. Look, the guys out front, it behooves them to kind of work together, say single file out. If guys have the run, to let them go to keep the draft going. So the draft will be critical here. Again, aero is kind of the real determining factor on the tire wear as well. So Obviously, the more cars you're behind, the more dirty air, the tighter you have to turn that car, and the more you'll burn up your tires here tonight. So it'll be key to keep the clean air where you can get it. And again, I expect the guys up front to kind of work together, especially the playoff guys, as you can see on the left side of the ticker. Everybody that is highlighted in red, so the Anderson, DeCiani, Gitter, Dyson, Delaney, Murray, and Hoytsman there in your top 10. Those are your playoff drivers. You can also see them adorned with the red splitters, spoilers, and windshield banners to denote the playoff drivers. So I expect all those guys to be up front working together, trying to save their stuff until it's go time towards, as we get closer to that pit stop. As we watch Matt DeCiani working in that 4th position. Again, Matt's been having a great run here the second half of the season. This is usually where you'll find him in the top 5, and not only on ovals courses, but also on road courses. And he is right around his teammate Patrick Gitter, who has absolutely shown speed everywhere he's been as well. So it's good to see Matt DeCiani continue that run. I don't think we have Alex Van Sant is not in the house tonight. Another guy that's had a good second part of the season. He had that excellent run last week at Charlotte Roval. I believe he's actually at Road Atlanta this weekend. So out there touching some grass. So Alex, if you're watching, man, we miss you, and we'll catch you next week, hopefully. As we watch some side-by-side battling here a little further back. Looks like that's Alex Murray and Lucas Hoytsman, Matt Long and Joe
Mama.
Jim, yeah, right. Jim Schofield in the 47. So terrible with the names, and they all kind of mushed together here as I'm looking through the field and through the time standings here. So anyway, working lap 16 of 267. Again, we're going to lap 80 here in the first stage. We got a glimpse of Adam Benefield there in the back, so it looks like, I don't think that was a penalty. It looks like he was just getting out of the way of the guys and biding his time there. So he is down in the 24th position. 25 cars tonight, as you saw on the grid. So not a huge field. So if one of the playoff drivers do have an issue, they shouldn't lose a terrible amount of points, but hopefully we don't get any DNFs and the guys keep it clean and we can get some good green flag racing. As we watch Mark Padgett work through turn 3.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword. You don't have that many drivers out on track, which, by the way, 25 is a lot of drivers for a league, but it's still the amount of drivers we've seen this season. It's considered a bit of a short field, but 25 short field tonight. You're not going to lose too much if you do have a bad night, but you're also not going to gain a lot on your competitors if they do have a bad night as well. So less of a risk and reward, and more of just a consistency type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we saw that the playoff pictures as we came in. I mean, it's only about a 15 or 14 point spread amongst the cut line. So. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Carlos. Look, not a whole lot to gain, not a whole lot to lose. Look, every point matters, as Jedi Taylor would say, or Sean O'Brien maybe more screams out at every race when he's not happy with guys racing for 15th. But as always, Sean, I always say it is a racetrack. Racing will happen. So yeah, not I think we are going to be points racing this round. Look, we'll see who comes out the winner of these. Again, Bobby Anderson is, I mean, look, he'd have to be my favorite right now. We'll have to see what he can do. Long run with the guys up front, but again, led a lot last year. I took a peek at last year's Vegas 2, just kind of get a sense of who was strong and who wasn't, and who might show up with a rocket ship. And it looks like that 5 car for DSR has unloaded something special here. So if we continue to watch Dalton Mobley in the 77 Liberty U machine, who's continued to work the high side, so he is not wrapping the white line here. So again, what I would expect to be the preferred line. Again, you can work the middle and run the middle, make speed there. Again, just with the physics model in iRacing, the higher you run, the longer the curve of the turn, so the more load that right rear and right side will be under. But again, you can counteract that with some setup stuff. And again, Dalton Mobley makes, I think he works on all the setups for his team there. So the DGR boys, the Dangerous Goods Racing, who Nolan Hodson is no longer a member of, so a little bit of a split there here at the end of the season, and unamicably parting ways. So we'll see how they race each other as Nolan looks underneath Dalton Mobley there as he goes side by side in 1 and 2 as we watch the field continue to race. Up here we got Patrick Gitter out front in the lead. Bobby Anderson trying to hold on to that second position.
Well, this is it. All the tire wears are coming up on the 276 and Jonathan Delaney in the 6 battling through wide for that lead. I'm going to give the advantage to maybe the 6 is the Derek Heitman in the 76 does back off to avoid any potential issues as Jonathan Delaney kind of slides up that racetrack, walking it up like a bassist walks a baseline. Now into the backstretch, number 6 has the advantage going into 3 and 4. And, well, 76 tried to make something happen, didn't make anything happen, as we are 3 wide right behind him for 4th place.
Yeah, absolutely. Continue to see the battle here. So yeah, tires are coming to a fact up around that 24 mark, which is where we are. And apologize for that. Looks like my time in the scoring is a little bit off from what's actually going on. So Bobby Anderson's down in 7th, not in 2nd. So I'll have to get that refreshed. But yeah, the guys are up front. Carl Dodson continuing to stay up front. John Delaney, again, the 6 car has decided to put a little more pace on and get underway here. It looks like he's running 30.35, so and that's about what everybody else is running. So not a huge gap between everybody, as we can see on track, side by side, 2 by 2 here as we go into 1. Derek Heitman challenging Carl Dodson there in the 2 car up high as he slides up a little bit. That's going to open the door for Patrick Gitter to try to make it 3 wide down the backstretch, and he will do that, looking to take that position again. This is a 3-lane track as they kind of shuffle around, go back to 2 by 2, as on the bottom here, Alex Murray making a move, and this is the fight for 2nd. John Delaney has stepped off by about a second or so, or a half a second. So this is the battle for 2nd that we are looking at as the draft goes there for Patrick Gitter and Alex Murray working together on the bottom side, trying to get around that 2 car up high, Carl Dodson.
As Doyle Lawrence says in the YouTube chat, saying Dodson has used up his stuff early. I do think that he has. And that's why we're seeing John Delaney was able to get by and actually pull away heavily as Dodson is checking up the rest of the field, unfortunately, as once people start going by him, you're going to be seeing the number 2 drop back further and further, and his only saving grace would be caution coming out anytime soon, or maybe even green flag pit stops. But that's probably not going to happen until the next, 15 more laps. It's going to be hard for him to hang on, as, you know, the 21, the 22 has gone past the 2. They are checking up further away as Jonathan Delaney has pulled up to a 9/10 of a second lead. But Dodson right now going to do the best he can to hang on, and seeing all those spots he made up very early in the race kind of come back to haunt him.
Yeah, absolutely. As the guys go 3 wide briefly there, so Bobby Anderson again also trying to hold on to the position he is sliding back a little bit here as well. So back to 8th from 7th a couple laps ago. Yeah, you know, I think that is part of the strategy though. Again, Carl Dodson was willing to use that performance up a little bit earlier, maybe pit a few laps earlier than most of the field to try to get that undercut, and then later on in that 2nd stint maybe manage the stuff a little bit more to keep that track position. So he may have the same MO tonight. We will see here again coming up. I would expect that fuel, the green flag stops to be around 50-ish, 45, something like that. If you want to come a little earlier, you can come on 40 as we work to lap 80 here at the end of stage 1. Yeah, definitely an opportunity there. So maybe part of the design. Also, you know, there's also a facet of that, Carlos, of seeing what you got, right? So this isn't D2. This is the 100% Cup. So this is the show. So maybe seeing where your pace ranks and your long run speed ranks against the big guys versus what you saw last night. So we may be just doing a little bit of research here for the following stages as we tick back over and see that John Delaney has now stepped out to over a second over the field. And looking just a little bit further back, Neil Pearson working on Derek Heitman here, who I believe won last night at D2 with some tire saving. Actually did do some tire saving, some pit strategies, saving a set of tires. Ended up not needing them because he walked to the front anyway, and some harder racing at the end. But yeah, so you see him back there running with Anderson and Pearson in the 7th position. Again, about a few seconds back in the pack here, as John Delaney continues to step away, and Lucas Hoisma looks up under Alex Murray here, going into turn 3, working turn 4, following Matt Long through the final corner here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway at the Herp is Forever 400. And he will take that away, but the crossover coming. Alex Murray's looking, decides better of it, and will sit behind as we ride through 1 and 2 and watch the field work through turn 2 back to the back stretch.
You were mentioning the 76 of Heitman winning yesterday's D2 race. It's pretty interesting. You said he won it based on tire strategy, which I guess would make sense, because right now I am looking at his car and looking at the battles he had both that we highlighted and also like off the side, glancing at the alternate camera angle I had. The 76 looks to struggle on the inside from what I can tell. Of course, I only have just a handful of information that I've seen, but from what I've seen so far, it does kind of look like the 76 will struggle to make passes on the inside. It'll be great, phenomenal, maybe defending on the outside. So hopefully, maybe a repeat for him, having another long race. Like so far, is kind of looking, you know, caution-free so far for the first 33 laps. But if we do have a 20 or 15 lap restart, I guess race run to the finish, I don't really expect to see the 76 possibly competing for the win, or at least passing a lot of drivers for, you know, for a good position there. With so far from what I've seen, hopefully they can turn the car around. You know, this is a long race. Temperatures will change, attitudes and driving angles will change as well. So still early for the 76, but from what I've seen, I'm not liking his car so far. As Dotson, first driver to dip down pit road.
That's as I expected. The 2 car coming to the attention of his pit crew. So again, going aggressive here on the strategy, trying to hunt the checkered flag here and maybe with some stage victories. So opting to use that performance early as he comes down the right side to go up. So he will take four tires and fuel. Again, able to make it from here. Again, the upper limit of that fuel stint will be about 65 laps. Maybe you can stretch that to 67. I've even heard some guys flirting with the number of 69. Nice. So maybe they can make that work as well. But Carl Dotson is off and away. So he will have an advantage here on the lap times. As Bobby Anderson, yep, your pole sitter, not far behind as he also comes in. So a little bit earlier than expected, Carlos, but the cars are coming down to the attention of their pit crew. We'll see how everyone reacts. There is a bit of an undercut, but again, towards the end of the stint, you'll see that performance go away. So the guys should be able here on the pit cycle to gain a couple positions. So that is Bobby Anderson so far down pit road, as well as Carl Dotson, and they are back out to the racing surface. Back on track, we got the 3-wide multicam up, watching the pit stops there. Delaney is still out front by about half a second, so that margin has come down just a little bit, as he was out to a second, almost 1.2, back down to 0.6. So it looks like with the pit window opening, the 21 car, Patrick Gitters, decided it is time to go, and slowly walking down the leader here from second position. Lucas Hoytsma up there in third position, so haven't really talked about him that much early here in the race, but also another great candidate to possibly win here tonight. Lucas is always good on the mile and a half track, so that mile and a half program for LMM. Again, Robert Miller, I believe, not here tonight, but representing for the Loudmouth Motorsports is Lucas Hoytsma. So Lukey Bear is in the house tonight as we watch the 76 and Alex Murray. So those teammates, the Prodigy eSports drivers, sitting here in 5th and 6th position here on lap 39 as we work 267 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Just to go back real quick, Carlos, look, right now, this is about what Heitman was doing last night, so I think he's demonstrated he has the pace. I would expect, again, he's probably managing his machine. Again, we got 2 stage breaks we know coming up. We should have several green flag stops tonight, barring any cautions to break that up. So plenty of opportunities to work on your machine, as Andrew Dyson is now down pit road as we go back to the wide multicam here. So your Charlotte Roval winner is down pit road here tonight. So lap 40, again, about what we were expecting. So I would expect that in the next couple of laps to possibly see, upwards of 10 more cars potentially come down pit road. I'd expect we see guys back in the back. So your Dalton Mobleys, your Jamie Knopfs, your Wayne Grasses, your Jeff Chandler's back there in 19th to probably push this one a little long, maybe wait out a couple laps, see if you can catch that caution to possibly get the tire advantage here from the guys that are pitting. But we will see how that shakes up as the guys are starting to come over the radio. The 77 calls out he's pitting a side-by-side action on the track as we go full screen. Patrick Gitter is now working the top side of John Delaney.
Oh, Delaney.
He's coming to the attention to the pit crew, smoking the tires. Woo. Does he make it? That's going to be close. There's a lot of tire smoke.
Oh, he was good. But somebody who isn't good, Jedi Taylor, black flag. I can only assume he is speeding on pit road.
Yeah, he looked like he's a little wobbly. He might have also had an unsafe entry. So, the 41 machine, the Apex racing car, having some trouble getting on pit road along with Dalton Mobley, as we also see the 29 car down low on the bottom of your screen also come down to another DGR driver. So it looks like they're on similar strategies over at the DGR shop. And your leader, Patrick Gitter, comes down pit road to the 21, gives up the lead, followed by Matt Long and Neil Pearson and Mark Paget. So it looks like a good chunk of your top 10 is now coming down pit road, and also followed by the 24 of Sean O'Brien Jr. So SOBJ also opting to come down. As you watch up top, that will turn over the lead to Lucas Hoytsma in the 07, followed closely by
never mind.
Oh,
Hoytsma.
Yep, Hoytsma comes down, almost missed pit road to struggle to get down on the speed again. You got to carry, it's a tricky pit road entry. Is also Adam Benefield down. A tricky pit road entry, it's similar to a Charlotte with kind of less runoff, if you will. Kansas is another one that jumps to mind, just like Las Vegas. As you see Delaney back on track up there in cars exiting pit road, where that last little curve turn you have to get to make sure you don't hit that pit commitment cone comes up on you real sharp. So having to keep the speed so that you don't get run over and don't lose time in the turn 4 hitting the apron. And again, by the way, that transition onto the apron is Matt DeCiani is down on pit road here, and I think that is Jamie Knott also following him behind. And then Randy Drumhiller also on pit road. 3 wide action up top. Bobby Anderson, Andrew Dyson, and Wayne Grass here working through, I believe that's 1 and 2 as we go on to the backstretch. It is, so again, lap traffic now becoming an issue. Comers and goers, fresher tires, the tire strategy here playing out. Again, shouldn't have any fuel issues from here. The key will be now is...
Oh, Kyle. Oh, that's too fast. That's a black flag for Kyle Ammon.
Speeding on pit road for 25, Kyle Ammon. So, again, man, that pit road is deceptive. Oh, it's trouble on pit road. Some traffic that Nolan Hodgson has to navigate. Wow, he wasn't.
And I think it was okay.
He wouldn't have any luck at all, man. Yeah. They worked it out, but he lost some time trying to get into his pit box. So there's a car to his left, but he is down and away and getting service on his machine. As we watch make out what car.
Alex Murray.
Alex Murray coming on pit road. Yep. So Alex Murray is on pit road, which will throw the lead to his teammate Derek Heitman on track. So opting to go long here, maybe working to that lap 50 mark or waiting for caution. Derek Heitman, Wayne Grass up in the second on the pit cycle here. So again, the guys out back as expected. So second is Wayne Grass in the 31 car, Jeff Chandler. So hoping for that caution to maybe gain a little bit of track position and some tire advantage here if we were to have that happen. But they will be swallowed up here pretty quick. Again, that that lap time deficit is pretty stark. So right now, I believe. So Wayne Grass that time by Derek Heitman that time by ran a 31-13, and I'm already seeing the guys behind him that are chasing already back down in the 30.1. So giving up about a second here already of tire advantage. So the longer you stay out, the more you're going to give that away. But again, knowing Derek Heitman, this might just be an experiment. Again, not in the playoffs here, but he is here supporting his teammate Alex Murray, who is in the playoffs in that round of 8. Fighting for a 2023 championship. So maybe learning again, doing a little research, learning a little bit for later in that third stage when we would have a 1 or possibly 2 stop race. And this is good information to have as we work lap 49 of 50, working to lap 80.
Yeah, and unlike last week, if people tune into that specific race and only that specific race, we did not throw caution flags for the end of stage breaks. We did have cautions because of the random number trigger, but we did not throw a caution due to a stage break. This week, we're back to normalcy, which, we're unlike it. We're going to be throwing cautions at the end of stage break, so we are going to expect guaranteed caution at the end of lap 80, so into lap 81, as we see Derek Heitman going down pit road here.
Yep, so your leader now, Derek Heitman, will come down pit road, one of the last holdouts here from the front runners that were in that kind of top 10 area all night. So he will officially hand that lead over to Wayne Grass, and Wayne Grass will lead a lap here if he continues to stay out. Again, Jeff Chandler in the 31 car, who was running a little bit further back in about 19th or so. So again, they have opted to stay out and try to catch this caution and push the fuel stint to the maximum to see if they can gain an advantage that way. So your first car did not stop. John Delaney is back up to 4th. He's about 21 seconds currently behind your leader. So that is well within a pit window or a pit delta. So again, Wayne Grass and the guys will, I don't think they're quite in danger of going a lap down just yet. Oh, actually, yeah, they're probably gonna go a lap down here with the 20-second delta. So again, they're kind of committed to the strat here, and we'll see how long that they continue to push this on the 3-wide multicam up top. We got Neil Pearson and the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter doing battle up here, and this is for your 4th and 5th position.
Oh, look at that.
Carl Dotson, who what do we got down low? Wayne Grass is starting to pit. And Carl Dotson, as I was about to say, Carlos, so the early stop paying off. So he is back up into second, kind of on the road here. Once we cycle through all the pit stops, Jeff Chandler is still out on the track. So John Delaney in your 3rd position, Carl Dotson in 4th. So he has jumped up from about, I think he'd fallen about 8th before the pit cycle, is now back up to 2nd on the road once Jeff Chandler brings his machine down. As you watch side-by-side action on the top of your screen. And that is Carl Dotson and Matt Long coming down. Yep. And now on pit road. That's Jeff Chandler?
That's Jeff Chandler, yeah, that's right. He's the last of the holds out.
Oh, and this is that's got to be too far left and pit. Oh, no, he is in the box. So
he's
the right
good,
side
yeah,
go up on Jeff Chandler. So he is good to go. So back up top, we have completed the pit cycle with Jeff Chandler coming down pit road. So that will be everyone we were expecting. So all 25 cars have gone on to the pit cycle. Neil Pearson is out front. He's fighting for the lead here with Delaney. So your current top 10, Pearson, Delaney, Long, Dyson, and Dotson rounding out your top 5 here as we are on lap 54 of 267. Again, stage 1 will end at the end of lap 80. So the caution flag will fly when 10th place crosses the line. So that's the target for these gentlemen tonight, going to the green and white checker of lap 80. And we are all set to run out these last few laps. So we will see who has the pace. Really no need to save tires from this point on, as we only got a 30-lap run here. And as we saw Carl Dodson, you can kind of burn your stuff down for the first 25 laps or so without any issues before you will see an ill effect. So, but Neil Pearson, the big winner here from the pit cycle. John Delaney's in 2nd, Matt Long's in 3rd, Andrew Dyson has worked his way up to 4th. We see side-by-side action. The 5 machine of Bobby Anderson is doing battle with Carl Dotson there in the 2 on the high side. Man, it seems like we've seen the Dodfather on the high side here all race. So liking that middle lane here, but he's already dropping back, got the initial benefit of the tire advantage from coming off pit road and pitting a little bit early with the undercut. But that has already faded away just a few laps into the second stint here of stage 1 as we watch Neil Pearson again working around. Looks like it's the lap machine of Jeff Chandler. I believe they're going around there in the silver machine for 31.
Expect to see Chandler going past. Here. Yeah, expect to see Chandler going past. He's got the fresher tires. Of course, he stayed out as late as he could. So going from the lead all the way to being a lap down. But very soon, I expect to see him get that lead lap position back. As it looks like he may have some damage, as some people are speculating on the YouTube chat. But for the time being, currently right behind the current race leader of Neil Pearson.
Again, we know that, so Jeff didn't really have the raw speed. Again, he was back in 19th kind of prior to that pit cycle, so that 19th top 20 position. But yes, he will have the fresh tire. So again, he pitted about, I don't know, was that 12 laps or so, 10 laps after the leaders here. So you definitely should be able to hang around. I don't expect that the guys, just like real racing, if the leader has kind of a gap, he will sometimes cut the guy a break if you are just on the lead lap here, as Jeff Chandler is. So maybe he's just hanging around to see if that is a possibility. But with all these cars so close together on this aero-dependent track, I don't expect any quarters to be given as we ride on board with Andrew Dyson side by side as he goes along the lap car of Jeff Chandler. Again, this is not 4th position. Dyson running in your 5th position here in the top 5. Again, one of your round of 8 competitors, Andrew Dyson, last week's winner on the team of Dirty South Racing. So also points going to that team championship for Dirty South Racing as we ride on board on the roof cam. And you see the guys here on that white line as they work through 1 and 2, following each other, staying in that draft. Neil Pearson is holding on to this lead. And we saw John Delaney bide his time on that first run. So he waited about 30 laps or so to get going. Looks like he may be doing the same here. Matt Long also behind him. Matt Long not in the playoffs, but always runs good. Has a phenomenal 1.5 mile program here. So he runs well at places like Vegas, Kansas, those kind of tracks. So he will have to be a force to be reckoned with. And again, Patrick Gitter there, biding his time as always. They're just sitting in the top 5. One person I don't see here, Carlos, is Matt DiCianni. So not sure what happened to Matt. Looks like he's down in the 11th position. There we go. As we cut back a little bit further to watch him racing here in the pack with Adam Benefield. So looks like some track position loss. He was early on in the race, those first 15 laps, kind of on the hip of Patrick Gitter, but a little bit of fall off here from the 4 machine of Matt DiCianni. So he's riding right here, right behind Alex Murray as well. So your playoff contenders all there. Looks like in the top 11 tonight. Shout out to Jim Schofield, just looking through the order here. He's running in 8th position. So good run for Jim Schofield. Again, he's competing for that Rookie of the Year championship. So a good run for him. And unfortunately, the man he's chased is Andrew Dyson, who's still a little bit ahead of him. But good run, good points here for the 47 machine. As we see the guys work through, and some slicing and dicing here from Carl Dodson, going from high to low, working that top line as he's trying to make some positions here up. Sitting here mid-pack, racing with Mark Padgett in the 02 Cat machine.
I'm taking a look at the telemetry I have. You're talking about Matt DiCianni, and you know, for all intents and purposes, he had a competitive pit stop, both in the actual, I should say pit stop, both in the actual pit stop time and pit lane time. If he lost any time at all, it would have been outside of the actual pit lane area. Maybe took too long to get up to speed, or maybe he slowed down way too early. We saw a lot of these drivers locking up the front tires, almost smoking, getting within like I don't know if the proper term is, but miles of speeding, seconds of speeding, I guess would be the right term. Maybe Matt DiCianni took it very early, and it costed him some time because he was out of the top 10, but he's now rushed himself back into the top 10. Got past Benefield for 9th place.
Yep, working his way back up. So +1 already. He's back into 9th again. I expect to see some speed from the 4 car. We'll see how it goes. So, yep, good observation. Thanks for the information there, Carlos. So, yep, maybe just on track. And also, look, he still could be saving. Again, we're early into the second run after the green flag cycle. As we watch Patrick Gitter in the lead here. So he now takes over in that top spot, leading Matt Long. Neil Pearson has relented the lead here and now running in 3rd. So he may be on a backwards trajectory. We will see what happens here. John Delaney is right behind him, and then closely followed by Lucas Hoytsman, that 07 Casey's machine. And I'm seeing Patrick Gitter, working that middle lane. So that can be a benefit for Matt Long, because he will have a little bit more clean air on his nose, which will also save his stuff, which could be a bit of a Carlos Sainz strategy. I don't know if that's just where he likes to call, as Matt Long tries to go to the top side on the one on turn 1 and 2. Again, that is a common way to try to make a pass happen here, Carlos. So a common thing that I was doing is you can take away the exit, because you can drive down deeper the higher you go into the turns here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, especially in 1 and 2, and certainly in 3 and 4 as well. But 1 and 2, it's a huge effect. You can drive down deeper. You give up a little bit of middle corner speed, but if you can maintain enough, you can take away the exit of the car in front of you and kind of force them to lift off the gas, and then you take that run down the back stretch or front stretch, and then take the position away. So looks like that was something that Matt Long might have been looking at, as we see Neil Pearson dive down, trying to hold on to position from Lucas Hoytsman. Again, I think Neil Pearson, he's going backwards here, so I think his tires are falling off more than the folks around him. So I expect him to slide back to the back of this group, as he's now in front of his Australian compatriot here, Andrew Dyson, who looks like he just moves out of the way for and it's going to let him go by as well. So it was a working lap 69, nice of 267, again going to lap 80 here in stage 1. Looks like the stage is set here for the stage is set.
Oh, Delaney!
Oh, a little slide there from Delaney as he was racing with Matt Long. Keeps it under control, though. But as you see, just what we're talking about there. So he has to shallow up his entry with the car on the outside. And his car maybe not liking that as much. John Delaney, who, again, is our last year's champion, but also recently got his pro license. So back in the Contender Series, trying to make his way into professional eSports of the Coca-Cola iRacing Series. in the top 40 iRacers or oval racers in the world. So he's making his bid. So I saw that when I logged into the session that, yep, he does have his pro license as he continues to walk through that process. But second place here tonight as he's chasing down Patrick Gitter, so about 3/10 behind. So looks like he may be starting to close in. And this is about, before the pit cycle, is about where we saw Delaney start to separate himself from the cars around him. So again, looks like it's go time here with about 9 laps remaining in the stage. As Tandem already having issues there on the top, so he's going to lap down. Looks like he almost got into the wall there. So 8 laps to go on the stage, working 72 into turn 1. Patrick Gitter, your leader, followed by John Delaney.
Yeah, this may have been around a time where you saw Jonathan Delaney check out away from the field, but you also have to remember he did have Carl Dodson on really old tires kind of holding up the rest of the field for him. So we didn't actually get a true sense of how fast Delaney is, but he is still plenty fast as he's got a great run on the exit of 3 and 4, looking to the inside of Gitter, going into 1 and 2 here for the race lead with 7 laps remaining in this first stage.
Yep, so racing for the stage here. Again, these are playoff competitors in your round of 8. Patrick Gitter, again, if you can see the red names on the left side of the ticket here and also on the top as they scroll by. So red denotes your playoff drivers, and these two are definitely it. So racing for all the stage points, as we said, there's only about a 20 or so point spread from top to bottom in the round of 8. So every point will matter here. Obviously, a win will punch your ticket into the championship 4, which is where everyone is trying to get to fight for Phoenix for a 2023 championship. As we see 2 by 2 up front, John Delaney's working on Patrick Gitter, Lucas Hoisman's working on Matt Long. So everything to play for here as these guys shuffle, dice, and turn, and trying to put the moves on each other to get these stage points as the laps count down as we make our way to 80. Still trying to figure out the enigma here. So John Delaney is around Patrick Gitter. And now they got to watch out for Lucas Hoisman and Matt Long, who are also looking to go forward here. And lap traffic may be an issue as they're coming up on another car here in the next 5 laps.
Yeah, Jonathan Delaney has cleared out from the battle behind him in second. It was too wide to the exit of the corner between Gitter and Hoisman. I think Hoisman does have some speed. We saw him being able to gain a bunch of time on some of the drivers. And the question, I'm seeing a lot of these drivers are getting loose off of the corner. How far can they push it? We know that they only have like 4 laps remaining here before the stage is over, so they're probably giving it too much beans, maybe a little too much, I should say, on the exit. And the question is how far until those beans fell off the plate.
Yeah, I mean that's the rub, right? Is where is the limit? How far can you get to it, and how far can you stay on it? As Patrick Gitter is now fighting for the second position. Again, Lucas Hoisman making the move here through 3 and 4, trying to take away that next spot for the 9 stage points here. Right behind them, watching patiently, waiting to make his move is Matt Long, the 97 car on the top side as they will continue to go side by side into turn 1. Patrick Gitter still ahead, and looks like they're looking for 3 wide. Is Matt Long going to be able to make some speed here on the top? He is, again, shallowing up that entry for the 07 machine. So he will lose a little bit of run here, as looks like Matt Long will make the move on the 07. He is ahead, and now we'll try to solve that problem of Patrick Gitter to go a little bit further in the field. We see Bobby Anderson, who started on pole here earlier tonight, fighting here with the 02 machine of Mark Paget. And looks like that's Jim Schofield, I believe, behind them. So this is back in your 10th position. So we are watching the fight for stage points. As right now is occupied, 10th place is occupied by Bobby Anderson. So he's holding on to that 1 stage point again, one of your round of 8 competitors here.
Very important for him.
Yeah, he needs these points again. Always unloads with a fast car here, but not quite showing the speed here that the guys up front are, as they're going 2 and 3 wide. Is Tanner Marty, I think, a lap car, so he's going backwards there and letting the guys race. But Bobby Anderson, Mark Paget, Jim Schofield, I believe that's Derek Heitman as well, making his way back up. So Derek Heitman back in 11th, trying to move up as well. And play spoiler again, Derek Heitman not in the playoffs, but is here supporting the Project eSports entries. So Alex Murray, who is in the playoff, who would love to take that point off Bobby Anderson to give his teammate a little bit more breathing room as we are entering the last lap of the stage here. So 79 taking over to lap 80 as pit road has closed, and the guys are racing here to the green and white checker. Delaney still out front. Gitter in your second position. Long, Hoitzma, Dyson, round out your top 5. Pearson, Murray, and DeCiani are 6th through 8th. And again, we saw the battle there for 10th. So it looks like that Bobby Anderson has lost that 10th position as we back up front, watch Lucas Hoytsma and Matt Long here battling for the third position. As they come off of turn 4, John Delaney has done everything he needs to do. He is going to be your stage 1 winner, followed by Gitter, Long, Hoytsma, and Dyson. So stage points going to a bunch of our drivers here as the stage caution now flies. So Bobby Anderson, unfortunately, does not get a stage point. He will cross the line in 11th. So a point that he's definitely going to need. So looks like already fighting that uphill battle here for Bobby Anderson from a points perspective. So John Delaney, your stage 1 winner here at Las Vegas at the Herpes Forever 400 as the field will here form up.
What a fantastic drive, not just by Jonathan Delaney, your stage 1 winner, but the rest of the field caution-free stage, no problems for anybody at all, as Delaney blows right past the pace car and has to lock up the wheels to kind of let the pace car go right on by.
Yep, so the guys will form up here behind the pace car. And we will, as always, we'll let the guys get to their set up their pit stops and go to the attention of their pit crew, and then we will grab one of the guys here to have a word with. So probably just get a word with John Delaney, see how he's feeling. Looks like he has the strong car tonight. So, but yeah, great stage. Like you mentioned, Carlos. Look, green flag running. That's kind of what I expect here for the rest of the race. Again, 25 cars kind of helps out a little bit. We can get a little bit spaced out. And get down to these 2 and 3 car packs. So that will facilitate more green flag racing and the guys to only have to battle 1, 2, 3 cars at a time. You know, last night I think we had 36 cars in Division 2 on Friday night. So again, when you get those, you start going 4 and 5 wide, that's when bad things happen. So hopefully we won't have to deal with too much of that tonight. Again, the guys should have some room to do battle. As again, that those top 8 will try to secure their spot into the championship 4. So as the cars come to pit road, let's see if we can get a word with our stage 1 winner, John Delaney. John Delaney, Sabaris in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, John, talking to you again after a stage 1 victory, man. Seems like we do this quite a bit here in 100% Cup Series, but just looking here from the booth, looks like you have the car to beat here on the long run. Curious if you're biding your time or you're having issues there on the short run. But just tell us about how that stage went and how the car's handling so far.
I don't want to reveal too much. But,
Name names.
I know Adam's listening, so. But no, this track, Vegas, there's a lot of grip. And when you have a lot of grip, there's a lot of on throttle time. So, and when you have a lot of on throttle time, that increases your tire temperature. So, just really keeping the tire temps down, and keeping them cool for as long as possible over a run, it just helps you dramatically over the course of a long run. So, just keeping the tire temps cool, just in general, it just makes the car feel much better over the course of a run. Keeps the tire wears a little lower too, so you can push a little farther or go a little faster during the long run. So yeah, the car feels good. I'm happy with it for now. So, but the track's just going to keep changing, so we're going to have to keep up with the track temp and how the track changes throughout the race and adjust from there.
Yep, makes sense. So sounds like you've had quite a bit of learning to do here tonight, so you kind of got a sense of what the car is doing. You mentioned Adam Bitterfield. Saw you doing battle up there with the likes of Long, Hoytsman, and Gitter. Is anybody in that top 5, top 10 right now, or even down the field that you're looking at, maybe seeing and worried about what they have later on in the race?
I know Alex Murray hasn't showed what he's got yet. There's a lot of good guys that are, good for 20, and then they're there throughout the rest of the run. So just got to keep an eye on those. If heaven forbid we do get a short run, we'll know who to keep an eye for and whatnot. So yeah, Long's fast too. So everyone in the top 10s is pretty good.
All right, 10-4 there. We'll put you back here with the team. So congratulations on your stage 1 victory. Hopefully we're talking to you a little bit tonight, and looks like we're going to have some green flag running, man. So make sure you're staying hydrated in the car. But we will put you back up, and good luck on the rest of your race.
Thank you.
So, John Delaney, your stage 1 winner in the 6 car. So, I mean, as normal, Carlos, so he's liking what he's seeing from his car so far. It's doing what he wants it to do. He's got an eye on his competitors around him. So, again, you can hear just the amount that the driver's learning, I'm sure. So, that'll be all through the field. All 25 cars are doing the same thing. So, whether you're racing for first, second, or third, or you're racing back there for 25th, look, you're looking at the cars around you and observing, look, what are they doing? What are the lap times they're going? What is their fall off? What does it look like their strategy looks to be? So all that learning going on all through the field. Delaney's got a handle on that as he gets ready here for stage 2. So lap 85, as we get ready to go, the lights are out on the pace cars. We make our way down into turn 3, getting ready to get underway here for stage 2. Again, working to the next stage will be 165 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway tonight. So again, we should expect to see another green flag stop. Same MO as last time, Carlos. I think we'll see guys go to about the 40 to 50 mark. And again, we may have a couple guys go a little bit longer, hoping for that caution to come out and maybe get a tire advantage. So as the field tightens up off of turn 4, under control of John Delaney, who was gone and away, we are underway here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. John Delaney steps on off an excellent jump from the 6 machine. And looks like the 2 cars behind him, I think that's Dyson and Gitter on the bottom, also got a good jump. The preferred line on the restart will be the bottom, but as we get to 3 and 4, the top side will be the speed and where you want to get to. As a little bit of issue here for John Delaney, did he slide out trying to break the draft, I think there. He's trying to break the aero draft. He's trying to get look, on lap 1 of the stage, Carlos, he's already trying to break the aero effect for the cars behind. Again,
listen,
you feel that effect up to about 1 to 1.2 seconds back, so he needs quite a bit to be able to get to break the draft on these guys.
He's the only driver in this field with an actual iRacing professional black license, so it seems to me like he knows what he's doing. Well, it looks like whatever he's doing appears to be working, because he ran a fast initial lap. He's already 0.7 of a second up ahead of second place Patrick Gitter. If I was Patrick Gitter or anybody else, I maybe would start emulating the same thing he is doing.
Yeah, I think so. Here's the thing with John Delaney. One of the things that kind of alt strategy. Look, he knows he has one of the good cars, at least here early on in the run. He mentioned in the interview that, look, he's watching some guys, expecting them to show their real pace. I believe maybe what he's trying to do is to get him to show that pace as he steps on out and try to break. So he's about a second out. Again, that's about the effect you can break the draft. So he might be free to fly here from Patrick Gitter, who is still 1.2 out. Again, he's had to use up some tire to do that. He's had to use up some of that performance with you guys as they're side by side, back in the back. Andrew Dyson for second position here on Gitter. So 2 playoff drivers here, the 04 and the 21, doing battle. And look, John Delaney's going to love to see this. So maybe what we're seeing here is a disagreement of Dyson saying, hey, man, we got to go get this guy. And Patrick Gitter maybe saying, let him go, man. He's going to come back to us. But either way, conflict is what John Delaney wants to see as he steps out to 1.5 seconds. Got some side-by-side battling a little further back. Oh, someone clips the wall there in the back. I believe that was Carl Dotson. Yep, the 2 car of Carl Dotson clips the wall as he's followed closely by Dalton Mobley in the 77. So side-by-side racing, when guys are trying to get the track position, man, that's the name of the game. Again, tires will fall off here, as we saw here in the first stage. But the further back you go, it's much easier to keep the track position than to get it back. So you don't want to get behind the car and have to work your way around them. You want to do everything you can to stay in front of that car. And you see that here with the side-by-side as Neil Pearson works the top side here, as well as Adam Benefield. Looks like Adam Benefield is now entering the fray after laying back for stage 1 as he rides in 8th position there in the 83 Mardon PC Chevrolet. But there we go. Neil Pearson again trying to make some time on the back. John Delaney out front, still 1.5. We'll just keep an eye on that gap to see if Gitter, or Dyson now in second position, can make up any ground on John Delaney, if it's going to be effective. Again, I think he's trying to force these guys to burn their stuff up, so it's going to be a bit of a cat and mouse here up front between the John Delaney and the rest of the top 10 to 12 here, as we see 2 by 2 on the front stretch all the way back as we were looking back into the looks like 13th, 14th kind of area here. As lap times on the bottom to see what the deltas and the guys are running. As Carlos mentioned, as we talked about a little bit earlier, John Delaney does have a professional license again in that Contender Series, trying to make his way into the iRacing Coca-Cola Professional Esports Series. But all these guys behind him, look, these are all top split guys, so they typically will be racing around the same kind of competition in the public lobbies. And And Andrew Dyson, again, deciding to go after John Delaney here. So, again, using up some of that performance. Again, known as a road specialist here. There were 3 wide on the backstretch, a little bit of contact there on the wall. Adam Benefield dives down to try to avoid any mischief that's going on above him. As Alex Murray's on the high sides, they follow the 2 car of Carl Dotson. So trouble here in the backpack. Business is picking up. Carlos, the guys are already at the start of stage 2, going about it a little bit differently than they did in stage 1.
I would say keep an eye out for Benefield during the stage one winner Jonathan Delaney interview. Adam Benefield did write in all caps "noted" on the YouTube chat. So little in-race sleuthing from the number 83. Adam Benefield, of course, no longer in the playoffs, but that doesn't mean he isn't going to go out and give it his best. So gained a little something possibly from that interview. We're seeing him make moves up in 12th right now. Remember, he qualified 12th, did initially drop all the way to the back for an unknown reason. I don't know if you have figured out why, but unknown to me at the moment. But currently back up to where he started and looking, like I said, if he wants to make some more moves, get into that top 10, top 5, and possibly lead.
I think he was just trying to keep look, Adam's one of our more one of our wily veterans here in the 100% Cup Series. He's used to this full length racing. He loves long racing. These guys are pretty tight here on the front stretch. Any moves going to be made here? He's getting a little bit antsy here as he's going to take it 3 wide and force it onto, I believe that's the O2 machine of Mark Paget. So Carl Dotson being aggressive again with that new feeling, and as he has to get there 3 wide, Carl Dotson trying to force his way here on Alex Murray, and they're pretty tight, almost 4 wide. There's looks like Dalton Mobley maybe staying out of the fray here. As O2 car goes up to block that 77 run. Man, this mid-pack is racing pretty hard. These guys are trying to maintain the position, and looks like the instigator here is the number 2 car. He's looking to go and make any move he can. So being aggressive here tonight, again, looking once again on Derek Heitman, looking high, size the better of it, looks low, losing a little bit of ground, and goes side by side here with the O2 car. So Carl Dotson is definitely putting on a show, so trying to get that TV time, and we're happy to oblige with all the racing going on here. Is something on the racetrack?
Yeah, Dotson got a little loosey-goosey actually in the corner again, lost a little bit of time. I'm noticing the drivers around Dotson are giving him a bit of a wide berth, as they have noticed that he is a little over-enthusiastic to get back up to the front. So Dotson trying to get as many spots as he can, trying to side draft, get to the quarter panel on the entry of the corner, and take the outside. And these drivers are a little too happy to just let him go on by, try to not get too close to him to possibly cause a caution.
Yeah, the guys are definitely being observant. They're watching the 2 car being aggressive here. Look, Carl Dotson is Amazon same-day shipping mode, right? He's trying to lick it and send it here on the guys, and they're giving them all the space they need to let him work it out again. Maybe doesn't have all of the long-term speed, and maybe he knows that, so playing to his advantage, trying to use up what he can. Again, we saw him, as expected, was the first down pit road to kind of start off the green flag pit cycle. Again, for those just joining us, welcome to the Herpes Forever 400 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is the 100% Cup Series in the round of 8 as we work lap 100 here. So the next stage break will be at lap 165. So that's where we're going here today. We expect a green flag pit stop if you don't get a caution. So at least one stop here in this stage. We expect that to be about 40 laps or so into the stage. So we got going here on 85. That put us around 125-ish is where we probably expect the early guys to come down pit road here in stage 2. Looks like things have settled down a little bit here at the front. Only a couple side-by-sides. As you see Neil Pearson continue to work the high side. John Delaney is maintaining that lead. If you wanted to keep an eye on that, it's been about 5 or 6 laps. It looks like Neil just brushes the wall there. He is still 1 point throughout, so he has broken the draft, proving that you can get away here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The pack has taken up chase, so they are after him, and it looks like that gap is staying about the same. I mean, they're not really making up a whole lot of ground here, so that could be an advantage when we get to the green flag cycle. Look, he's not towing anybody around. He's running his own race. He's making those guys fight to get to him, which, again, is kind of forcing them to race for it and perhaps even causing them to use up their stuff. Maybe even get a better advantage later on in the race. If you watch side-by-side racing into turn number 1, into turn 2, Neil Pearson, who has continued to work the high side here. Looks like Lucas Hoytman is giving him some room there. As we see some more shaking and baking here in the back as we go back to Jim Schofield on Dalton Mobley, who I don't think I've seen Dalton Mobley run the low line one time this race. He has kind of lived up top on the high shelf here at Las Vegas as he gets a little loose and scrapes the wall there. So a little tank slapper for the 77.
A little kiss.
He's followed by his teammate there in the pink car, Nolan Hodgson. As we watch them work here, so I think let's see, Nolan Hodgson. That is what the 15th position, I believe, 14th.
Nolan Hodgson? Yeah. Oh, Cal Moon, I'm being told, has spun on the backstretch. Caution is out. First caution for cause.
On the caution, and hits the Jeff Gordon entrance there on.
Oh man,
the backstretch.
Changed his career.
For the 25 car, as we go to a 3-wide TV replay, see what happened to Kyle Ammon here, just loose under and makes contact with the 3 car. Got a little help after he got loose, so maybe couldn't check up and slides down into the AMR safety crew pit entry here on the to the safety barrier there. So unfortunately right on board, so just got a little loose and was checked up. Looks like Wayne Grass behind him just gets into him a little bit, helps him go around. He locks it down, but slides to the inside, so nothing more he could do. So I guess he's gonna have to work on that car a little bit. Obviously not handling to what he would like, and we are under caution here on lap 104. So I believe we're a little early for pit stops. So
everybody's going down.
John Delaney brings everybody with him. I expect that we'll take tires. So we came in tonight with 8 sets of tires, which should be plenty for all the cars. So no problem here burning an extra set to, again, the name of the game is to maintain the track position. So it looks like the field, not a whole lot to be gained here by staying out on the old tires. So everyone comes down to the attention of their pit crew.
I did know, watching the onboard and both of the Kyle Lemon and Wayne Grass, is that when Kyle did get loose, Wayne was right there. He didn't once back off. He still kept that at full throttle. And I would say ultimately that kind of was the reason why the 25 did end up spinning out. I feel like had Wayne checked up a little, of course, you don't want to check up as a racer, but had Wayne checked up just a little bit, maybe not gotten to his rear bumper, that probably would have figured itself out, and the caution probably wouldn't have come out. But tough break for Kyle.
Yeah, look, definitely got some help there. Look, again, it's always hard to judge who has time, who doesn't. Obviously, unfortunately, that usually falls to me after the after-race review. But yeah, I mean, it did look to be a slow slide, so I would have expected that there would have been some sign to check up there. But you never really know how much, when you watch it in real time, how much time guys had. But again, Wayne Grass has a reputation here of really not lifting, so that's kind of fits the profile there of Wayne. He's races hard for every inch on the track. So on that 3 Pennzoil machine. But yeah, I think you're right. Look, obviously the contact is what finished him off there as he was loose. Looks like he almost had it gathered up. Again, this next gen is a little bit tricky, just the way that diffuser works. I mean, once you step out, you get a certain amount of yaw. As you watch, looks like that is Jason Jedi Taylor coming down pit road all by his lonesome there on the screen. But yeah, once you get a certain degree of yaw, I mean, look, that diffuser, it's easy to pretty much go around. Again, the physics model in iRacing, that's gotten slowly easier to handle from what we first got with the Gen 7 car last year on the service. So easier to control, but again, still in play once you get sideways. It's plus that combined with the heating up of the tires, you can go around pretty easy. But yeah, definitely was contact there with the 3 machine that helped Kyle go around there. So speaking of which, let's see if we can bring Kyle down and just have a quick word with him and see what his opinion of that little incident was, and see what he needs to do to get his car working here. Kyle, it's DeMaris in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Kyle, we saw you get a little loose there into the turn, and then it looks like you got a little bit of help from the 3 car. I guess tell us what you were feeling at the time and kind of what happened from your perspective.
Yeah, it's just driving, got a little loose, backed out of it, and next thing I know, my rear tires were off the ground and I couldn't go anywhere. So we're going to try something here and see where we can go.
Yep, so it looks like obviously the caution comes out. We're able to come down pit road. Any adjustments on the car, anything that you, was it just a step out on you, or is it something you've been dealing with this whole time, and have you getting a handle on what you need to do to kind of shore that up?
I took the wrong angle into the corner and hit the big bump, and it got sideways. So it was nothing chassis-wise, just driver error. So we took a wave around. We're going to try to get back on the lead lap and see what we can do. Hopefully catch a quick caution.
Yeah, hopefully you are not that cautious. So, all right, well, good on you, man. Hopefully you have a better go into your race here in the short term. So we'll put you back up to the team, and good luck for the rest of the race.
I appreciate it, boys. Have some fun.
Oh, we'll do it, baby. We'll do it. So Kyle Lamon out of the booth here in the 25 machine. So, yep, as you said. So I guess he's seeing the same thing, Carlos. Of he got loose, took the wrong entry, and was traveling to gather the car, but looks like wasn't given a whole lot of room to gather it up there by the car behind. So, but the lights are out on the pace car. We are all formed up here 2 by 2 as we go through turns. I think we're in 3 and 4 here, getting ready to watch the pace car duck on off. Like to say hello to everybody in the YouTube chat that's out there watching in YouTube land. We appreciate you. See Deb Harris as always. So good to see you here supporting in Doyle Lawrence. Who else we got here? Jeff Sousa's in chat. And you said Adam Benefield obviously listens to the broadcast as always. As we are underway here back in stage 2, John Delaney has gone again. Let's see if he does the same thing here, Carlos. So, look, he was trying to get a good start on the restart and immediately start to use the performance advantage he has over the guys on the short run to break the draft, and it worked to effect. He was able to stay about 1.3 out almost that entire run, and I would expect that we still looks like we should be able to make it here, depending on might be a couple guys that may be close, so I expect to see some some fuel saving here, so maybe not all out pace. As we know, we have to get to 165, so we're about 60 or so out. And I believe 65 to 67 is about that upper limit of what I was hearing from the guys in the garage pre-race about what they would expect to be able to make. As we go to 3-wide multicam TV, watching the rear gearbox of John Delaney, looking back at the field, and yep, it looks like he's doing the same thing. He's trying to break the draft and put some pace on the rest of the field here. And up top, we're watching the rest of the field work through 3 and 4. So Adam Benefield here sitting in your 10th position for stage points as we try to work to lap 67 here. And the usual suspects are up front. Patrick Gitter in P2 fighting with the 07 of Lucas Hoytsma. They are in 3rd position as they swap ends here a little bit. Gitter and DeCiani run out top 5. Matt DeCiani back up in the top 5 where I expect him to see. So good on Matt for making his way back up to the front. Last that we, I think, checked in with him, he was about 9th or so, but making his way forward. So here he is after the pit cycle. Back up front following his teammate there. In the 21 machine.
Delaney just put in the fastest lap of the race with a 29.664. And well, you mentioned it. I initially thought it didn't work out because by the time he got to the back stretch, he was only 0.3 of a second. The field kind of looked like they were still there. But I don't know if it's the angle or whatever Jonathan Delaney is doing, but the guy earned almost 0.2 of a second into the entry of 3 and 4 alone. That's how fast he was through the corner. And right now, he's doing even better than the last restart. Already 1.6 seconds up ahead of Hoytsma and Dyson. And remember, last restart, they were battling 2 wide for 2nd place. So this is a phenomenal job that Delaney has done on the 2nd restart. And it looks like he's gaining more and more knowledge as the drivers go on about this. The question is, can the competition, can they hit the books and figure out what he's doing and find a way to prevent it?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we know. Look, again, just like kind of Dyson is on the road courses, right? John Delaney on the oval is all world, right? He is again fighting to be one of the top 40 in professional esports here on the iRacing service. So, look, we know that story. He is your defending 100% Cup Series champion. Nearly missed out on the championship in 2021 that Adam Benefield took. But be quite honest, that 21 championship, it took all of the championship 4 plus Robert Miller to hold him back from getting that championship. I mean, they all raced the dirt out of him just as kind of payback for how he raced them the entire year that year. So could have been a potential 2-time champion here in the 100% Cup Series, which is no easy feat. Again, we raced the full Cup Series schedule here as we watch the battle for 2nd place here. They're still side by side and shuffling around. Looks like Derek Heitman has made his way up to P3 here, so he has made his way up, into the fighting position. So he is now challenging Andrew Dyson. So again, maybe Derek Heitman deciding that, look, John Delaney's showing what he's got. It's time for me to show what I can do. maybe go out there and get them as we work again to the end here of the stage. But going back to what I was saying, look, we race the full 36-week schedule is just like the NASCAR guys do on Sunday. We do it on Saturday. So that's upwards of 28, 30 races that these guys will do, especially your playoff contenders. That's however many hours a week for these teams that are making the setups. Again, it's an open setup league, just like in real world NASCAR. You got crew chiefs and engineers and all those folks that are testing shocks, springs, tire runs. What line is the best. They're even probably evaluating manufacturers to see if any of the three manufacturers have advantage aero-wise on the track. So they're doing their paces all through the week. So again, some of these guys are affiliated with those professional esports teams that do race at the top level of esports, as we have lap times on the bottom of the screen there, as we continue to watch Dyson and P2 try to hold off the rest of the field here. But yeah, look, the dedication is there. I mean, it takes a whole lot to run good here. These guys, it's not your typical iRacing series, right? Where you can just kind of show up, do an hour of practice and run good. This is a whole week's worth of work, sometimes months worth of work for these teams to be good here. Again, some of that's a benefit from the esports endeavors and other official series, but hats off to all these guys that put in that work to run good here and fight for the championship. Again, it means a whole lot to these guys. Again, it's an honor and a privilege to watch them do it day in and day out. Just checking back in with the YouTube chat. So it looks like we got Callie H here that's also here supporting Nolan Hodgson in the 12 car. So do a quick check-in. Nolan Hodgson's running back in the 14th position here in the number 12 Brant Machine, following Jim Schofield. So again, this is about what we expect from Nolan Hodgson, who is usually a pretty patient guy. So you'll usually find him again in this kind of 10th to 15th kind of position, biding his time, kind of waiting for the lap to kick off. Again, not a playoff driver, not racing for a championship. So doing what he can to secure good finishes and top 10s and top 5s here. Again, we got, looks like we got Doyle Lawrence here, who's rooting on for his guy, which is Jeff Chandler in the 31. Looks like Jeff Chandler again running a little bit towards the back, so a couple positions behind Nolan here in 16th. In the Don Wheaton silver machine here. So again, Jeff is a rookie this year. He's run a few races, I think. This is race 6 or 7 or something like that for Jeff. So a little newer to the series, but we welcome him as he is getting used to the guys and making a name here with the competitors. So running back here in the 20 position as we saw Randy Drumhiller go by in the race EPI machine there. And it looks like we got Ken Byron in the chat as well, rooting for 30 South and Prodigy. So thank you for everybody that's watching out. Again, let us know who your favorite driver is in the chat. We're happy to give you a quick status check as we go on board with Alex Murray here in the 8th position to check in with your favorite driver to see where he is and where they're running at. And heck, if we get enough comments, then we'll grab them for an interview here and see how the race is going. So we work lap 121 of 267. Again, we're going to lap 165 here for the end of stage 2 to get the green and white checker flag. And John Delaney again, Carlos, he's figured something out here that the guys have not been able to solve. So we'll see. What we haven't seen is a long run with this strategy of him breaking the draft and then backing it off to run the lap times he needs. But he's about 1.3 out, which is what we were seeing at the end of that last run. Derek Hyten has worked his way up into 3rd position. So he has fought to get some track position here to hold on to it. Lucas Hoytsma in your 4th position. And Patrick Gitter here running out your top 5. So again, the usual suspects up front, plus I guess Derek Hyten, who's been riding around about in 7th or so. As we look a little bit further back, looks like again, there's Dalton Mobley in the 77 Liberty University car is just, Liberty U car just riding the high side again. I don't think I've seen him on the low line one time this whole race. So definitely know what his car is built to do. Liking that high, the middle lane here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which again is a viable way to get around the track. You can make speeds again, and we see that he's able to hold up here in the top 10. So running in your 9th position right now, Dalton Mobley, as we watch Adam Benefield behind him, taking a peek and biding his time. So it looks like Adam's dropped back again, but be interesting to see if he actually has some pace here tonight, Carlos.
It would be pretty ironic if next week Mobley shows up with a car that can only run on the inside line.
Yeah, so Dalton Mobley's one of those guys so he's the owner-operator of Dangerous Goods Racing, so DGR here, who I believe was about 8th or 9th or 7th or 8th in the team championship. But he does all the setup building and tweaking I know he runs a lot too. He contributes to the Elite Performance Project, so the EPI guys. He's usually running that during the week to help develop those setups as well. So, yeah, puts a lot of time. Again, also gets you on the track, takes off the owner hat, puts on the driver hat or helmet, and gets in the car. So it looks like that's what he's built the car to do here this evening, is run on the high line, because that's where we're seeing him run. You know, typically you do have to try to make passes on the bottom line, like so driving a little deeper and do a little bit of a slide job. But I guess he's decided that that is not the way tonight for the 77 car. So, but yeah, it would be interesting if we do go to the next track and he's just wrapping the white line, right? Which, like, hey, whatever you got to do, man, whatever it takes to get the result that you need. But anyway, working 126 here. Of 267 here at the Herpes Forever 400. So the cars are pretty much single file out. Looks like the guys are back in run mode here, trying to preserve the tires. As a little bit of side by side here is that Carl Dotson.
Yeah, dropping
looks like
back.
He's gonna let some guys. It looks like he's gonna let some guys go here. So he's gonna pull up to the top and step out of the way. So his car not handling as expected.
84 of Jamie Knopf has just blinked out of the track, it appears.
Oh, so connection issues for the 84 car of Jamie Knopf, which, you know, we equate to here in sim racing. That's the equivalent of a mechanical ride. If you do, you know, internet drops for a second, or you know, lag out as we call it, and disconnect from the session. Sometimes you will see cars blink in and out again as we're racing online, but sucks when that happens. So if you do blink out, I know that's happened quite a bit. Just a few days ago, I was reminiscing about the issue we had from a couple years ago when Comcast had a issue that dropped about I don't know, what was it, probably 15 or so cars from our auto club race a couple years ago. We had to actually red flag that race to get everybody back on track and
I remember that,
get the time and scorings, and yeah, shot it out. So yeah, I actually pulled that up at work earlier this week just to get a little tune in to that, as it was on my mind. But watching on screen here, we see Matt DiCiani. So he's falling back just a little bit, so back to 7th position, as Dalton Mobby continue to work the high side. So he will make the move and go around Matt DiCiani here. As I hear on the radio, Nolan came on the radio and said womp womp. So something's going on back there around the 12 machine. So probably somebody getting in a little bit of trouble. But on screen here, we're watching 2nd position again. The car you don't see, John Delaney, is 1.2 seconds ahead of your 2nd position car here of the 04 of Andrew Dyson. Again, last week's Roval winner, followed by Derek Heitman in the 76 machine, aka Hero Heitman, who had to pull out some of those moves last night to secure the D2 win victory. You can watch that race on James Parfit Broadcasting if you'd like to see how that race unfolded. So D2, we race on every Friday nights, is a support series to this car, is how guys get into the series. You got to come through D2. And we don't quite run full length, but we do run Xfinity length races in the Gen 7 car on Friday night. So again, check that out if you're interested to see kind of the next crop of stars to come into the 100% Cup Series, as they're trying to make a name and race their way into the series. From there, a little bit of action here. Lucas Hoytsma and Patrick Gitter doing a little bit of battle as they swap high side, low side, and Patrick Gitter's going to make the move to the inside of Lucas Hoytsma, who I think will probably just let him go here. Looks like he does, and jumps in behind the 21 of Patrick Gitter, so he moves up into your 4th position. And Lucas Hoytsma will drop down into 5th. So good points day for Lucas, doing everything he needs to do to secure points here. Not really a car that has to win, but he's a consistent point scorer, so he knows where his bread is buttered and trying to just make sure that he brings that car home in a good position. Again, thanks for everybody joining us tonight. Again, y'all, your playoff round of 8 drivers, as you can see on the ticker, are highlighted in your red colors. So it looks like the lowest running there is Bobby Anderson, who's down in 21st position. So quite a stark fall off. I would expect that maybe Bobby didn't take tires in that last pit stop. The only reason I could think he would be back in the back quite that far. Again, Bobby Anderson was your pole sitter in the 5 Kellogg's Toyota machine, but currently running back in your 21st position, about 8 seconds back from everybody. So definitely going to need to turn around here for Bobby if he wants to continue to fight for the championship here, not where he wants to end up. Looks like we got a little bit of action back in the pack. Nope, and everybody cycles out. As you see Nolan Hodson jump back in line in the back. We continue to watch on screen Derek Heitman following that 04 car of Andrew Dyson, as the gap to John Delaney is like, let's step it up a little bit. Is that 1.6 I'm seeing there, Carlos?
1.4. It's kind of fluctuating. I've seen it get as low as 1.2, 1.3, and get it as high as 1.6. So it's fluctuating right now in the middle, 1.45, 1.47. So Dyson doing what he can, but I mean, we should be seeing pit stops. I mean, I thought we would have already been seeing pit stops at this point.
Oh, well, we did have the caution, so that kind of throws.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, we had yellow flag stops again. The only thing I'm questioning there is again just because Bobby Anderson's running so low. We know he has speed, especially on the short run. So I'm not sure. Again, he's in the 20s, so I'm guessing maybe he's trying to save a couple sets of tires here throughout the night, so that if we do get a caution field third stage, that he's in position to potentially grab some extra tires and maybe walk up through the field if need be. So.
I wonder if he has damage.
We know he has.
Because you know the last pit stop he was in his stall for 25 seconds. Now I'm not really seeing any damage here on my end here, but it's possible maybe he smacked the wall or something.
If we can look, we do have the cumulative damage model here in iRacing for the last year or so. So what that means is, again, if you say you're coming off of turn 2, turn 4, and you're just constantly scraping that wall after 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you will accumulate damage. So what that means is, as you when you come down the pit road, you'll see that there's a little estimate of how much time it'll take your team to kind of bang out that sheet metal or fix the, or not sheet metal anymore, but the composite body here on the next gen car. So that can be as low as 5 seconds, can go up to about 12 or so seconds I've seen for the cumulative damage. So definitely possible. But look, we've talked about it. Las Vegas is definitely an aero dependent track. So you need all the fenders to be the right angles that you unload it with to be able to make speed in the draft and be able to suck up behind guys in the draft. So that is a possibility. Again, I don't think that amount of damage would have that effect on Bobby. Maybe it's possible too, Carlos. He went the wrong way on an adjustment. The car just is no longer handling the way that it did at the beginning of the race, as he was maybe trying to find a little bit extra to compete on the long run. So time will tell. Maybe on the next stop, we'll actually get a word with Bobby Anderson to see if this is a strategy or if something's going on here as we watch on screen 3 lanes of racing. Adam Benefield following Matt Long there, who's behind Patrick Gitter, and then who is that other car there? It's not Portsmouth. This car always freaking throws me off with that pink number on the side. But yeah, anyway, Alex Murray, Matt Long, Gitter, and Benefield here all racing. So this is your 4th through 6th position here, as they are side by side trying to make a way forward, as looks like Matt DeCiani is looking like he's taking that Dalton Mobley line up high to try to keep that speed going on the front stretch. As we work lap 141 of 267, again, we're going to lap 165 here for the end of the stage. So that is the target for the guys here today. So again, looks like all of our playoff drivers are in the top 10 with the exception of Bobby Anderson, who's down in 20th position. So all set themselves up for more stage points here tonight. And Adam Benefield, again, who eliminated last race, hunting that checkered flag along with Derek Heighton up in 3rd position. As John Delaney out front continues to maintain that 1.3 second lead on the field. So he has broken the draft, as we've seen him do a couple times now. He continues to lead all alone out front.
I got the pit stop strategy graphic going up, and I have noticed Benefield never went down pit road during that stage 1 break. He was somehow able to go all 82 laps. I don't know if it's glitched on my end or if he actually did all 82 laps. And then, of course, he went down pit road at the end of the stage break. So he has saved himself a set of tires. And we're not really seeing, the cautions right now at the pace we're going. We're not really seeing the cautions where the set of tires would matter. But if, this starts to become a bit of a caution fest towards the end, or the middle and the end, then, this could be a strategy that might help out Benefield.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely remember seeing him come down that first stage because it was in the middle of calling all their stops. So he definitely came down pit road. So maybe just a little glitch in the software there.
Oh, that's weird.
That happens. It's just grabbing telemetry, so maybe just missed a bit or two in the software. Again, my time in the score was a little jacked up. I had to reboot here early on. So these things happen. But yeah, Adam Benefield, again, look, we expect that, again, if I don't believe Dustin Hall is here tonight. So Dustin Hall also, I think, was eliminated last race. But Dustin Hall is usually the brains of the operations there in Team Conti, so he'll be doing the calculations on the fuel strategy and running the race backwards, as he calls it, to figure out what the optimal stops are. So he's out of the not at the racetrack tonight here in Las Vegas. So I guess maybe some of that will fall to Adam Benefield and I believe Kyle Ammon, who's also Team Conti there. So those two will be in the Discord channels, kind of working through what to do as stuff changes here in real time on the racetrack. As you still watch on screen, again, still watching that third position of Derek Heitman. As we just look a little bit further in the field, let's talk about some guys. Not a lot happening up front. Let's see what's going on. Looks like Jim Schofield, again, having a decent run here in 10th position in your 47 Dirty South racing car. Yep, there he goes. Excuse me, I have to cough a little bit there. Nolan Hodson there, running right behind him in 12th position. So a little group here of Schofield, Hodson, Mark Padgett, and then Daniel Simmons, who we haven't really talked about a lot. So newer to the series in the 06 machine, having another good, a decent run tonight. So again, kind of on the Jeff Chandler program here, getting to learn his competitors here as he steps into full-length racing. Had a bunch of excellent races in D2 and was able to get approved and qualified here for the series. So a decent run here going for the 06 machine as he's fighting for that top 15 there he's going. Looks like Neil Pearson's dropped a little bit further back, so he's back in 14th. So Neil, who showed some early pace on the short run, maybe not quite figuring out the long run like his compatriot up front, Andrew Dyson said. He's running a little bit further back here, all by his lonesome. Behind him is SOBJ in that 24 Arctic Cat machine. That beautiful Apex Racing paint here in the all black. I assume it's Apex Racing. It might have been. Sean does his own painting as well, so it could be one of his own designs. But he's a little bit further back. I don't see JS. Oh, well, JST's behind him. So, and behind him is Jeff Chandler, as we've talked about a couple times tonight, the 31 machine. Again, running a little bit further back. Again, getting his feet wet here in full-length racing the 100% Cup Series. Again, I think he's been with us on and off since about Sonoma. But I think we only run about 6 or 7 races here in the silver Abruzzi car. It was a pretty good little paint scheme he's got on the car there. And Don Wheaton on the hood. And Robert Anderson, who we talked about, look, one of our playoff 8 in the round of 8 here in the Kellogg's machine, that Toyota car, just not having the night he needs to have right now. As you can see, he has the red splitter and the red spoiler and windshield banner, being a playoff contender, trying to make his way into that round of that championship 4. But just not doing the night again. We'll maybe get a word with him a little bit later. And behind him, JST. So Jason S. Taylor in the Supreme car. Looks like
Speedy.
Apex Racing didn't. Yeah, Apex Racing not. He did speed when he had the issue on pit road earlier in the race. But Apex Racing looks like they just didn't unload with a great package of night, so they're trying to play catch up here. So him and Sean are running back here in the back in 16th and 18th here. Carl Dodson, who we kind of forgot about here for a second. He is all the way back. We saw him dropping back earlier on in about 10th, so didn't expect him to get all the way back to 19th. So in the Trust Me Vodka number 2 machine. So Carl has effed around and found out here and learned that the guy is all unloaded with some fast long run sets. So it looks like he'll have to do some figuring out. And last but not least, we got not last but not least, but in 20th position we got Randy Drumhiller, one of the staples of the series. I think he's been with us every single year here for 4 years. So in the 44 car, former Black Flag driver, now racing for
EPI.
EPI, yes, there you go. Thank you. EPI. Wait, EPI.
That's what it says here on it could be outdated. It all really depends on if the drivers update it themselves. But it says EPI.
Yeah, I think he does race for EPI. I'm getting my stuff confused. So there's EPI that's obviously set up shop and.
Yeah, I also see Elite over here on the side.
Yeah, I think he's the EPI driver here in the league. So anyway, good old staple here, Jesus, Randy Drumhiller. As we take a look back at the 3 car of Wayne Grass. So Wayne, who's just Wayne's also been with us for a few years here in the series. I think over time is just kind of slowly, as it's kind of a little bit of 2 things. I think a little bit of fall off from the 3 car race to race, but also kind of improvement of the competition in the league. But Used to be a staple running the top 5 back in 2021, kind of that season, and now kind of usually finds itself in the back here with myself in these races. So as we go back up front, we see some more racing. So Nolan Hodgson is fighting the race. Looks like we got the Daniel Simmons and Zach Catcher.
Matt DeCiani.
Matt DeCiani. Man, we got to get these guys some different paints. So yeah, a little bit of racing here back in the back. This is for your stage positions here as we're on lap 155. Again, working to 165. So about 10 to go in the stage. As Daniel Simmons has to keep it off the wall. Looks like he got a little tight on exit there. So that's going to give up a little bit of room to Matt DeCiani, but they go side by side back into 3 and continue the battle off of turn 4. But this allows Nolan Hodgson, that 12 pink Brant car, to step away a little bit and Mark Paget to make up some ground from behind.
Bobby Anderson dropping back a couple more spots as he has let the 41 and Jedi Taylor go on by, and Jeff Chandler moving on up slowly as he looked like he had some speed against the 5, but has decided to let the 5 continue back to where he was. 10 to go on this stage. I don't expect to see anybody going down pit road, as we do have a battle for 3rd position as introducing Adam Benefield to this podium spot right now. As Delaney has had it easy for a while, but it's entirely possible that Benefield now might be the only one that can challenge him.
Yeah, look, player.
Did you see that?
Benefield, yeah. A little bit of smoke here. I saw Dyson. That might be a ping there. I don't think he. Actually, he actually moved.
Okay. It looked like
he's in Australia, so that ping will play games with the rendering here, Carlos. So
I thought iRacing just hit us with like ultra realism. It really looked like his tire just exploded and blew apart the fender. That's how, to my point of view, it kind of looked like. So I thought we were gonna see the 04 just shoot straight up into the outside wall. Oh man, I was like, when did iRacing at that?
Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome if we did have, look, if we had actual mechanical failures in the game. As we switch back to a battle here between Jedi Taylor, and looks like that's his teammate letting him go by here. So SOBJ letting Jedi or Jason S. Taylor get on by him back here in the back. But yeah, no, it would be awesome if we have mechanical failures as we work lap 159 here, going to 165 at the end of the stage. That was something we thought we might get with, that gap is coming down as you see Carlos circling there on the teleprompter. Now that we're tightening up here to the end of the stage, it is go time. You saw Adam Benefield make his way up into the top 5. That is also signaled to Patrick Gitter in the 21, who goes side by side with Andrew Dyson. So it is go time here for stage points again. The round of 8.
Oh here. No!
We got 3 races. Into the wall goes Andrew Dyson, keeps it off. So he gives him Gitter gives him room, but that's going to let Gitter get around him. Going to hold up Adam Benefield, who over the radio, not too happy with Andrew Dyson. But hey, look, every point matters. Again, on the left side of the ticker, you can see your round of 8 competitors trying to find their way into the championship 4 and make their way to Phoenix to fight for a championship as we ride on board the roof cam here of the 07 KC machine as he's trying to make his way through. It looks like Dyson may be holding these guys up, maybe getting a little bit tight here on quarter exit as you saw him smack the wall just a lap to go. So about 4 to go here in the stage. And business is picking up here, Carlos. These guys are racing for every single point.
Pointsman has some speed right now.
Definitely does. As we see, there's a few guys that have kind of dropped out. So again, we knew Anderson was out of the top 10. Looks like DeCiani is also outside of the top 10 right now. So it looks like no points doing for them as we continue to see the racing here for the 4th, 5th, and 6th position here. So Dyson is continuing to fall back as Hoytsman is now around him, and so is Alex Murray. And looks like the next challengers to that will be Benefield and Heitman. So they were happy to let him lead. It was kind of odd to see that he was out in front air and clean air for a long time, Carlos, but still that wasn't enough to preserve his tires. So it looks like the entirety of the top 5, top 6 here will go around Andrew Dyson. As the gap is not falling as much as I thought it would. So Gitter is making ground, but he's still about, looks like that's 8 tenths away from John Delaney out front, who's currently leading this race. But all the action here happening in the top 5, again, your playoff round of 8 competitors are all fighting for every single point here in the stage. So no green flag stops here in stage 2. We had a caution earlier on in the stage, which everyone came down to the attention of their pit crew. So it's just flat out racing here till the end. Everyone should have enough fuel on board and enough tire to do battle. So big loser right now, Andrew Dyson, who's gone from 2nd place down to 7th.
Yeah, right now, Delaney, Gitter, Hoytsma, Murray, your top 4, and with the tracks coming up, because we have it's this one, then Homestead, and then we're gonna get the second to last race of Martinsville. The 2.5 mile races here are very important, as the finishes here might dictate who will probably be our final 4. Delaney pulling off an impressive run, but it's only has this is the last lap, last corner at 3/10. He lost a lot of time there at the end, but Delaney will hold on and win this second stage.
Yep, Delaney will cross the line first here for stage 1. It looks like Gitter, Hoytsma, Murray, Benefield, Heitman round out your top 6. Dyson holding on for position number 7 as the stage caution flies. Long and Nolan Hodgson getting up in 9th position to get a couple stage points here in the 12 machine. So a fan favorite there. Nolan Hodgson making his way up front on the long run. Again, typically a patient driver will bide his time until it's time to go. And time it go it was for him. And rounding out your top 10 was Mark Paget in the 02 machine, who also made his way up to the front. So he will get a stage point here as well. Again, the important drivers there, not important drivers, but the playoff drivers there, Delaney, Gitter, Hoytsma, Murray, maxing out on points here. Dyson holding on in P7. So the losers of that stage for stage points, DeCiani and Anderson, unable to secure any stage points there at the end of stage 2. So the field will be collected by the pace car here on 167. And we will let the guys come down for their pit cycles, and we will grab a word with somebody here. So probably we'll check in with, see if we can grab one of our playoff drivers here. So we'll check in with Anderson first, just to see how his race is going and see if this is a part of the strategy, if things are going wrong, and what he can do to turn it around. And if we have some more time, maybe we can grab DeCiani or one of the playoff drivers. So, but they will all come down pit road here, single file. The pit lane speed limit is 50 here at Las Vegas. So got to make sure you don't speed. Got to stay to the right to make sure you don't fall into the ire of the post-race review, which all the guys look like they're doing. So nice and single file.
Oh, wait, when did this happen? Mobley has taken his car to the garage. He actually took his car to the garage about 20 or so laps ago. We were talking about him right in the outside wall so long.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember an incident happening, so maybe
connection or something.
Maybe just call them to quits again. Dalton not racing for a championship as we watch the fight off of pit road here. Yep. Look through wide. Look at all the guys here trying to get make a position. I hear Adam Benefield apologize on the radio, so maybe some contact on pit road exit. It's very easy to get 3 and 4 wide. This is a pretty wide pit road here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But that being said, let's get a word with Bobby Anderson here, who comes out, looks like, in about the 14th position, and see if we can get a word on how his night is going and if he's got anything that he can do to turn this around. Bobby Anderson, it's Demar's in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Bobby, we've been obviously watching this round of 8 kickoff here at Las Vegas. Obviously, you sat on pole, showed some speed here in stage 1, but we did notice that you're running in the back there in stage 2. So we're just curious if did you take tires on that caution, or was it a strategy call? Did you just have some ill-handling car? How's your race going, and can you tell us about what was going on there in stage 2?
Well, not going good. I think I got a little damage. I was trying to save tires there, but just couldn't catch back up to the field there. So I feel like I'm getting pulled a little bit on the straightaways. So I keep pulling into my pit box, and the crew chief saying we can't fix the damage. So either just got a really bad car tonight, or this damage from a little light touch of the wall earlier in the race is causing me some problems. 10-4
there, so some damage on the 5 machine that looks like the pit crew was unable to fix. Yep, that is unfortunate at a draft-heavy track like Las Vegas. So, well, knowing what you got to do here, you're sitting here in about 13th. We're going to 6-7 from here, man. What's the goal here for tonight? Are we just trying to get a top 10? Is a win still on the cards? What is the goal here, knowing that we got a little bit of adversity here going into stage 3?
Yeah, I think top 10 is going to be the goal. Don't know how I'm going to get there, but see if I can figure something out.
All right, 10-4. Well, good luck with the rest of the race, man. And again, hopefully it turns around for you. Again, we saw a business pick up there at the end of the stage. We expect it to get a little more tight here at the end of the race. So hopefully you stay safe, stay clean, man, and good luck on the rest of your race, sir.
Thanks, guys. Good broadcast.
All right, and Bobby Anderson out of the booth here. So, yep, a little bit of damage here. So you were right on the nose there, Carlos. So I was thinking maybe tires, but yeah, it looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the 5 car that the crew is saying that they just can't fix. So he's going to have to deal with. So unfortunate for Bobby Anderson. He's going to have to make some things work. So potentially make some strategy tire calls or maybe make up track position another way here at Las Vegas. So lap 170. Working to 267. We are all done with stage breaks. The lights are out on the pace car. The hurt is forever 400 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are still under control of John Delaney. Lucas Hoytsman will join him on the front row. Gitter and Murray, row 2. Benefield and Heitman on row 3. Nolan Hodgson starting up in P7, looks like a P8. So finished 9th there in the stage, made up a couple spots on pit road. So maybe it's go time for Nolan Hodgson again. We know he's a little bit more patient on the short run, but maybe he can hold the position here. Andrew Dyson dropped quite a few positions, so he's down in 13th following the pit cycle. But he's gotten some good stage points tonight, so he starts right in front of Bobby Anderson here. So lights are out on the pace car as we get ready, as we wait it to duck down pit road. There it goes. We're under the control of John Delaney. And he takes off, so we are underway here in stage 3 on lap 170. So restart zones again not used here in the 100% Cup Series. So once the pace car pulls off, it's at the discretion of the lead car. So the 6 gets that jump that he's been getting all in, and we're going to watch. I guess he's going to do the same thing. I mean, it's worked so far. No one's been able to do anything to stop it. The guys did pull them back a little bit
different this time.
That last one. Well, we will see. It's only the first lap as we duck down into turn 3. Gitter hold on the second position. Adam Benefield looks like he's going to hold on to P3. Hoytsma challenging, though. So, again, Adam Benefield is in go mode, being the third stage. It's all pit strategy from here unless we get some cautions. Further back in the field, we got Mark Paget and Nolan Hodgson door-to-door, the 02 and the 12, racing in the back here. So Nolan Hodgson trying to hold on to that 7th position, followed by, looks like that's Matt Long there waiting for that battle to conclude. Daniel Simmons here in 10th place. Again, he worked his way up towards the end of that stage. So the 06 car, again, worked his way up the track position. So let's see what he can do to hold on to a top 10 spots here. And what these guys, what some of the playoff drivers don't want to see, right, is, these non-playoff drivers, look, they're running their race too. They're here to win. They're here to get a good position. But taking away valuable points from some of these playoff drivers who will need to secure these top 10 places. Try to, again, we only can have 3 possible winners here in the round of 8. So someone's going to have to point in. As Adam Benefield, as you watch the back of John Delaney, who Adam Benefield has said, no, sir, you will not walk away this time. So, again, player 3 has entered the game as Adam Benefield will take the lead away from John Delaney. So the first new leader we've had in quite a while, the 83 Mardon PC Chevrolet, is now out front. And now using Delaney tactics will try to drive down to break the draft, so give anybody the draft but the 6 car. Looking a lot like 2021 here in the 100% Cup Series, but Patrick Gitter will follow him through, so he is now into the 2nd position as John Delaney will drop back to 3rd behind Lucas Hoytsma. Is he quite clear? Not quite.
Oh, there is no hole.
Field there by Alex Murray. Yep, they have closed up, so the whole field looks like they're ganging up on the 6 car, who they know are the favorite. And perhaps showing a little bit more of their hand too. And Nolan Hodgson looks still sitting there in the pink 12 car, right there behind Alex Murray. So the former DGR and former Prodigy driver, kind of a privateer now, all by his lonesome, is holding on here. So a top 5 or top 6 run here for the number 12 car, as John Delaney is into the wall a little bit there. Looks like he might have just missed it.
Oh,
fighting fighting on the top side against the cavalcade of cars
The
here in the top
mares.
6.
I think this was done on purpose. You know, this is, you know, we're done with the guaranteed caution, the guaranteed brakes. We're done with that. This is gonna be a almost 100 lap run to the finish. I think that Delaney did this on purpose. He didn't do what he did before the last couple times where he dropped to the inside on the backstretch and got really great runs on. I think what he's doing is he allowed 83 to go by, maybe tried a couple others to go by, so he can save some fuel, save some tires by just hanging in the draft of the guys in front of him. Because this is gonna be a really long run, and you said the fuel run is about 40 or 50. What's the fuel run again?
Yeah, about 60 to 65 is about
60
the
to
upper limit of
65.
that.
Oh, okay, well that actually throws a wrench in my plan then. But he wouldn't need to save fuel.
Well, yeah, to your point though, I think the optimal strategy, the optimal will be split, right? So you run your fastest times for half the stage, put on tires, you can do the same thing. There's a little bit of variance there if you can go longer, go shorter. So I think that'll be the move. Now, what you will see again, there'll be some gambles in the field. So as soon as that pit window opens, so once we get to lap say 202 or so, or maybe even 200, if guys are going to go really, really long, and perhaps hope for a green flag stop, and try to as soon as the fuel window opens, fill it up, and then go to the end. I think you probably lose a little bit too much time there. I think the math doesn't work out in your favor if you try to do that. But hey, you never know. Again, you look down the field, someone like Carl Dodson, who we've seen be a little more aggressive on the pit strategy. He will try that. Again, we've mentioned the likes of folks like Jeff Chandler, who in the chat can say he may just has a little bit more pace, but maybe just trying to stay out of the way of the playoff challenges, not to influence the championship. So, hey, maybe he sees an opening, right? Does the math, does the algebra or whatever you need to do, and figures, hey, I can steal one here. So that's something I watched for down in the field, but definitely up front, yeah, I would expect to see the splitting of the stage.
Race leaders blinking out. Benefield, he's having issues. It looks like he's back. That was crazy. Oh, by the way, all you Tanner Marty fans, he had a black flag on the restart, so a type of a violation of some kind. Did have to go down pit road to get that clear, so he finds himself now 2 laps down as compared to being 1 lap down. Still the first driver, 1 or more laps down. Is the 83 does the selfless thing by letting him, by allowing everybody else to kind of go by him, stay out of the way while his internet recovers. I think his internet has recovered. Whatever happened was an initial burst of just instability, but it all appears to be good. However, he has willingly given up the race lead to kind of prevent any shenanigans going on, causing any possible race ending or race altering issues for drivers. So selfless move by the 83, and looks like he really didn't have to do it at the end. But right now Delaney got the lead, and I really do think that Delaney just doesn't want this lead right now, as he is easily letting Hoytsma go by on the outside, and is not going to sit firm right behind that 07.
Yeah, possibly. I think you're definitely not going to save tires in the pack, as we see Carl real high up line there. Is that Carl Dodson? Is that Glock?
He was like 20th like 2 laps ago.
Yeah, so Carl Dodson. So look, we saw it in the first stage. I think we're back on that aggressive strat. What we're going to see is he's gonna burn every single tire down on that 2 machine on the Trust Me Vodka car, and then come down pit road early to get that advantage of the tires and get back to the track position when he comes out. We saw him do that. He dropped back about 7th, pitted early after he burned his stuff up, came out about 2nd. He didn't hold on the 2nd that long, and I think the pace is going to pick up here anyway, Carlos. I don't see the strategy working, but man, hats off to him for giving it a go. He's trying to get up there, get some TV time, lead some laps here. So Carl Dodson again with some newfound performance there with the Fanatec profiles and things on his machine. He can now feel more of the car, and man, he's trying to get up there and run up front, and hats off to him, man. This is what we want to see: hard racing but clean racing here in 100% Cup Series.
This is what he has to do. Okay, so realistically he was towards the back. Okay, he tried the strategy earlier. It didn't really work out. He lost a ton of spots. He was towards the back, finding himself near the last half towards the end of the race. He has to do this because right now his strategy would be get up to the front as high as you can, and then before you start dropping back, hope that caution comes out and everybody goes down pit road, and you know, now you find yourself in the front at the end of the race. Carl Dodson has to do this, because if he just saves his tires and stays in the back, maybe he'll pass a couple cars, but he'll still find himself well outside the top 10, guaranteed for sure. So this is not going to guarantee you a top 10 or a really good finish. And you know, it could end up finishing even worse than trying a normal strategy, but he has to do this. This is his only shot at getting up at the front. He has the speed. Now the question is, does he have the luck and the strategy on his end?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you got to play to your strengths. We know he has short run speed. We know he doesn't have the best long run speed. We can see in the field who has that. Again, the likes of Delaney, Benefield has likely not showed his hand. We've seen Alex Murray and Heitman run for a long time on the long run. Look, make him fight him on your turf. Well, how do you do that? Right? You burn up your stuff early, you pit early, and force everyone to come down maybe 5 to 6 laps before they want to, right? Force them to do the math, force them to do that problem solving of how much rope they can give you before they maybe can't snatch it back. So you're absolutely right. I love to see that kind of pit strategy. No,
here it goes.
I'm never really a fan as Dotson goes to the lead. So he's around Hoytsma. So down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Looks like we will see another new leader, the two of Trust Me Vodka machine of, as we watch the gearbox off of Carl Dodson, as he will come through and lead lap 189. So he has completed the strat here. We'll see how long he can stay up front. But yeah, as I was saying, look, I love to see guys that, look, we all know what the textbook says, right? We can all do the math. We all know what the optimal strategy is. Again, we said halfway. We do that all the live long day. We have stage racing. That doesn't change a whole lot track to track, especially on these 1.5 miles. But you got to play to your strength, right? We saw, let's make a deep callback. So our first championship race, where Kevin Steele made a bid to win the championship by having the best long run car that day, and forcing the guys. There was a late pit stop where you pit a little bit early to force the likes of Bryson Hicksbaugh and Cam Stone to pit a little bit earlier than they wanted to, so he could fight them on the turf he was winning on, which was the long run, and almost paid off. If the 27 car of Rich Tuco could drive a race car, that probably goes green. Unfortunately, a late caution came out, and he was unable to complete that strategy. But same idea here. You're good on the short run. Do what you have to do to try to force these guys to fight you on the short run. That's what you want to see. So he has gone to the front. He is now, here's the other part of that too, Carlos, is now you're putting those guys in dirt in the air. Yeah, you burned up tires to get to the front, but now that they're behind you, you're going to force them to have to lift off a little bit earlier, use a little bit more steering input. It's going to put a little bit more wear on those tires as well. So you're also trying to simultaneously maybe hurt their runs a little bit as well. So Carl Dodson up front trying to pay spoiler as the connection issues for Adam Benefield have been all taken care of. He is back on the charge, so back to second place he goes in that 83. So again, a couple guys up here not in the playoffs as John Laney goes to the inside of, nope, not able to get side by side.
No, it's just getting some clean air.
Adam Benefield quite yet. Yep. Just trying to get some clean air on that nose. Again, we talked about Saban as the 2 is called out on the radio. He is pitting from the front. So from the 2 cars coming in. So he's got a lot of traffic behind him as he tries to make it on the pit road. Can he get woed up here on the brakes?
He does.
Is he speeding, Carlos?
No, he's good. He's good. I don't understand this, but he's good. Maybe you see this from a different point of view. I really do not know what's going on here.
This is a long way out. I don't think
really long. 75 laps.
That is not, you cannot make that from here. So maybe a 2-stop on the cards for Carl Dodson. Maybe he's going to gamble that guys will just do the 1 stop and try to fight the fall off here. Well, is that a quick pit stop? How long was he on pit road?
It was 15.2 seconds. That's actually a little slower for tires.
Okay, so
he's a little bit on the slow side, yeah.
So, yeah. So he's taking the full tank. Yeah, 75 is not doable. That much I do know. Don't need to do math on that. If he is able to make 75 laps, I think we're going to have to do some post-race inspection on that cheat machine. So, again, I want to say 65, maybe 67. But look, that is all depending on the gear that you chose, right? Again, as we mentioned earlier in the race, open setup league here. You can change any parameter you want on this car as long as it's within NASCAR spec, including the rear end housing. So you can come with a taller gear, a shallower gear, or different gear ratios, which will affect the fuel usage along with the aero characteristics on your car. So Hey, look, maybe Carl Dodson's figured out something that no one else has been able to figure all week. I don't think I've seen a 75 lap run, but we will see here shortly. Either that or he is going for a 2-stop race. I think 2 stops though. There's just too much loss on pit road. You won't make up the delta for the about second. You'll have about a second faster lap or so on new tires. I think you probably need a slightly longer run to pull that off, more than the 100 laps or so that we had when we started stage 3. As we see, Adam Benefield is back up in the field, Gitter behind him. So the Team Conti boys are running up front with Project Esports following them. The 22 of Alex Murray in 3rd position, followed by Lucas Hoitzma. So a lot of the same top 10 are back up here. A couple notables I want to see. So Nolan Hodson in the 12 car, still holding on to 7th position. So showing that he has the speed to stay up here. Has just been biding his time throughout the race. Mark Paget, another car that's been riding back around 15th or so. I think he almost got stage points here at the end of stage 2. So he's been biding his time. He's showing that he has the speed to stay up here. Height is a little bit further down here in 9th position. As well as Pearson, who I don't see as Bobby Anderson. Looks like he's continuing to struggle a little bit further up. He's in 14th position right now in the 5 machine. And the other playoff drivers, Matt DeCiani's down in 17th. And Andrew Dice is still in 18th. Now, they started a little further back, about 15 or so in the stage, and I would have expected them to make their way forward. So something to watch that they have not quite done that. But again, could be on ultra save mode to potentially stretch the fuel window or the tire window here. To make that up on the back end, but time will tell. Is on screen. We do see Patrick Gitter. There's a little bit of smoke behind them. I think that might have just been lag from somebody. I don't see any cars spinning around, so that's good. But Alex Murray and Patrick Gitter here look like they are fighting for that 2nd position, as Adam Benefield doing a little aero blocking or a little draft, however you want to look at that, with Patrick Gitter there on the middle lane. As we see, is that Matt Long dive down there trying to get underneath John Delaney, but John Delaney closes that door in the 6th position, so they are racing hard here for the 5th spot. Matt Long and John Delaney working lap 200 here at the Herpes Forever 400.
Oh, no!
And Mark Paget is around. The caution is out on the track. Hoitzma not happy on the radio. Some words you can't repeat on the broadcast. But we'll have to queue up a replay to see what happened here. A lot of apologizing, a lot of spicy radio here as we go to a 3-wide TV replay to see what happened to bring out the caution here on lap 200. So we are watching the O2 machine of Mark Paget here. Oh, just drives up into, maybe not aware that the 07 was above him. It seems like he didn't even know he was there. So
and this is
a playoff driver.
This is the race within the race. You see, you have the laps. It's like, all right, well, let's go, and then towards the end, all right, now we attack and charge. But what people don't understand is that it's more than just hitting the gas, getting off the gas, hitting the brakes, going, turning the wheel and everything. There's also a mental aspect to this as well, and what appears to be a possible lapse of judgment, which it could also be maybe a mechanical issue on the O2 end, but it kind of does look like maybe the O2 had a little lapse of judgment, forgot where he was compared to the track, and the 07 came up on the 07, has essentially given, confirmed Lucas Hoitzma does have a meatball flag. So his championship is in question at the moment, and his race is for sure pretty much at this point out. But that 02 has made a costly mistake both to himself and the 07.
Yeah, look, that's just, mechanical barring. That's just unacceptable. If he just didn't know Lucas Hoitzma was outside, that's just unacceptable. We can't have that. Lucas is fighting for a championship and doing everything he can, and to just not know the guys there outside. That's just, that's just unacceptable. So hopefully that Lucas Hoitzma can get this repaired and off pit road, and hopefully he doesn't have several minutes of damage and he can continue to fight here. Again, we are in the round of 8, first race. We do have 2 more races after this, so all is not lost, right, for Lucas Hoitzma again. And something that will help him if he does have damage and can't get off is that we don't have a full field, so only 25 cars gridded. We know Dalton Mobley's already out for the night, so 24 cars are still running here. A couple of those guys are a couple laps down, so there's a little bit of grace there for Lucas Hoitzma if he cannot get that machine repaired and back flag up into the back of him. Okay, so that's good. So only about 30 seconds or so of damage looks like on the 07.
Bobby Anderson.
Yeah, there's more damage there. So there's required and optional damage for those that are watching, maybe unfamiliar with the sim. Required damage is what you get when you get the meatball flag or the black and orange flag, as we call it, with the orange circle. That's required repair. That is your car is now unsafe. Race control, the automated race control and iRacing said, look, you have to come down and fix this unsafe aspect of your car. And then there's optional repair, right? So that's just it could be cosmetic, could be aero damage, stuff that you can run with, which your car may handle a little bit worse. So typically how that works is you'll have a lower amount of required damage. So maybe you have, you could have anywhere from 12 seconds to a couple minutes of required damage, unless you blow an engine, you get a little bit more. But you could have potentially 3-4 minutes of optional damage. What does that mean? That again, the guy's got to break out the Bondo, they got to break out the tape to maybe fix some of the composite body and things like that. So it's cleared the meatball flag, which means he's taken all of his required repair. Probably still sitting there, probably has some additional optional repair which will be kind of affect stuff that will affect the handling and the feel of that car for Lucas Hoytsma. So he will get all that repaired. So again, unfortunate events, but let's take a look at the lay of the land after that caution. So we are on lap 200. You can make it. Yep, you probably could make it from here. Carlos with the cautions, because we're going to go 2 to go here, so we should go on 205.
Yeah, you may. Yeah.
So that's about 60. That's about 6 or so laps. Probably can't go flat out, but should be good from here depending on the gear you have. So we may see a couple of different strats. We're getting into JST land here, where he will kind of chop this short mini stage, right? And
I have something I want to say.
Something to watch for.
We weren't guaranteed a caution, but I'm still like, now we did get that caution, you see more drivers topping off, coming down pit road one last time just to get a little bit of fuel in their car. I'm looking at the 2 and his strategy of going down pit road when he did. I feel like he had that strategy working for him. Of course, he wouldn't know that the caution would have come out. Nobody did. But I felt like had he just stayed out and, while still being up near the lead, or maybe even dropping back a little bit at this point, he would have gained a ton of spots. Instead, he went down pit road with 75 laps remaining from the lead. Did find himself 1 lap down, so he did have to go around. He'll be restarting towards the back regardless, and now he's kind of back to where he was. Of course, now we do have a bit of a long run where it's possible that drivers may not make it all the way. He is on the lead lap. He could still kind of do this strategy again. But we're not guaranteed that everybody's going to go down pit road again. And if it does turn out to be one of those like really long runs where you have to save fuel and tire, this strategy kind of like really backfired on him. So I don't quite understand what happened with that strategy there with the 2.
Yeah, look, he wouldn't know, as you mentioned, he wouldn't know the caution was coming out, man. So lights are out on the pace car. It's going to duck down here in 3 and 4. We are under control of Adam Benefield, who is taking the top lane here. So a change of pace here at Las Vegas, and he is away. The green flag is out here at Las Vegas. The Herc is forever 400. So he gets a good jump here on Patrick Gitter, and he will head off and away and side by side back through the field. Yeah, look, I think so here's the situation. I think the die has been cast. So you saw your call it about the 11th or the 9 or so cars, so Dotson and on up, I believe, all stayed out there, did not go down to top off. So that tells me that either A, they can hit their fuel number, or B, they're not even going to try to hit the fuel number. They may consider another stop. You saw everybody else come back down and top off there just before with the 1 to go to come back to the green. So that tells me that all those cars behind, they are going for no stops here. So they have taken the last sets of tires, unless we get a caution and all the drivers on board. As Dotson. Up top, is that Daniel? Dotson is loose.
He's trapped.
So doing the Tokyo drift through 1 and 2, but gets the car under control there, and we move on here racing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, expect to see Dotson do the same thing again, and he sure is right off the bat. Less than 2 laps, and he's already at the back bumper of the current race leader, Matt Long. I expect to see him take the race lead and just pull away, because we already know right off the bat, without a doubt, he is gonna be short pitting, maybe cutting this in half, and then just hoping our caution does not come out at this point, because the way he's driving, he is not going to be able to make it to the end with the fuel that he has. Dotson to the lead without any hesitation from anybody at all, as I actually might be seeing Long, Delaney, Benefield. I might see them maybe saving and trying to make it to the end.
Yeah, look, Dotson, look, he's going, look, again, look, math be darned, he's going to go and do what he needs to do. So he's going to burn it down, maybe kind of partially doing the John Delaney strat. You know, it'd be interesting to see if he does get a gap here, if he doesn't pull along and get the 2 or 3 second lap lead here.
He just might. Fastest lap of the race, 29.509. I believe previously it was Delaney.
Yeah, so Dotson again, he's going full strength here, so probably planning to come down and stop one more time. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting if for the guys did top off, which means to tell me again from like 9th on back, they had to come back top. I tell you, they're not confident about that fuel number. The guys that stayed out tells me they're confident about the fuel number or they know they can't hit the fuel number. So they may be playing. So I expect that top 5 again. That was your likes of Ammon, Heitman, Dotson out there along. Look, these guys, they stayed out and did not come top off. So either they're confident they can hit that number or they're not even going to try and know they got a pit stop coming up. So maybe a splash and go at the end of the race. I'd imagine they probably wouldn't take tires because you only need to maybe, if you are short, you're going to be maybe a lap short if you can't save enough. So it's going to be really close for when it's going to be really close here. Oh, and they're 2 seconds ahead of the field. So it looks like, and Matt Long is going along with them. So it looks like
he's not saving.
Car, him and the 97 are on the same page here. They're probably planning to stop again, and they're going to challenge these guys to get that save. So if you're trying to save, here is the issue. Here's the problem you have to solve: is you have to run in fast enough lap times to save the fuel you need without giving away the track position to these guys, because there's a tipping point where you could put yourself in jeopardy that you can't make that time back up, or that you don't get enough time if you stay out. Right? They can come out and then make that time up on the fresh tires. So. As Nolan Hodgson also looked like he's on the same page. So we see
he may not be saving.
Delaney, Benefield, Gitter, looks like Murray there. These guys look to all be saving.
Oh, well, hold up.
Long and Hodgson are on go mode.
Hold up. Hodgson was one of the drivers that did top off there under caution, so he would have, realistically, maybe about half a lap more fuel. You're not really burning that much under caution. Well, he did come down another lap. It was probably about half a lap of more fuel compared to Delaney, Benefield, and Gitter. So Hodgson's still going at it, but he was one of the drivers that did top off.
Yeah, good point there. He did come back down pit road and get a little extra fuel. And you're right. So it's not a whole lot of fuel. You're talking about 0.3, 0.4 of a gallon, right, Carlos? Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Max,
if you're max fuel save. But again, that's about a half a lap of fuel. That's maybe a lap of fuel. I think usually around 0.3, 0.4, depending on the gearing and the way your car is handling around the track. Again, remember though, as you go longer, your car gets more ill handling, it gets tighter, you're on throttle more, right? Typically trying to gas up out of corners and things like that. So, but yeah, he did top off of fuel. So you're right. I completely get the excellent point there, Carlos. So Hodgson's kind of the guy to watch. He's running in P3. Hodgson has never won a race in 100% Cup Series. He may have won a D2 race. I can't quite remember. Certainly has not gotten a win here ever in the series, and he's been running with us on and off since about 2020. So the 12 car is something we want to watch there in the all pink as we ride on board.
Big difference.
And as we see the lap deltas and the telemetry on screen here as we watch Delaney a little bit further.
Look at that, 2000.
The fixed car. Oh yeah, we're definitely and he's running. So you also see that. Look, we're running in gear 5. So that's the other thing with the gear in ratios, right? You can run a 4 gears, 5 gears on these transmissions for the next gen Cup cars. You can set up to run a 4th gear setup. I think most of these guys will have done that, where you're running a 4th gear setup. But for fuel save, you can run in the 5th gear, which means you coast a little bit longer, lower RPM, so you're burning less fuel into the engine. Through that fuel line. So 5th gear is probably your fuel save gear. 4th gear is probably your race gear, is what I'd imagine that most of these guys are set up for. As we check back here as we're watching Alex Murray here. So the back of the top 5, top 10 are all side by side as the different strategies are all converging. Again, you see these 4 cars that are there on the bottom. The 6 car, the 83 car, the 21, and Heitman there as well. Those guys are all in save mode, right? They're trying to get to the end on this tank. Maybe everyone going around them is either planning on stopping or splashing and going, or maybe planning on a caution. So that's the other part too, Carlos. Look, if we get a caution, all this goes out the window, right?
Yeah.
1 caution, 4 laps of pacing. everybody can hit that number. Even probably Carl Dodson, who was burning every drop of fuel that he can.
Oh, Matt Long, by the way, took the lead.
Yeah, Matt Long is up front. Yeah, I just saw that on the ticker.
What happened?
So Matt Long is not only up front, but 2 seconds ahead.
Oh,
I think
Carl Dodson. I think Dodson realized how bad of a strategy this could have been. Although I gotta say, he's got good odds that a caution could come out, because if a caution comes out, this works for him. And if everybody has to pit this work away, he's going down pit road. This is weird.
No way.
Okay, well,
no way he went. Did he make? No way he made that. No way he made that.
Yeah, he did.
Surface.
He did.
My goodness. Okay, so he's already identified he can't make it. I would imagine he doesn't take tires to the car.
Well, I think he knew he couldn't make it already. But what's odd to me is that he spent that last lap or lap and a half kind of saving fuel, which I don't know. Maybe he really believed that he could have made it. Realized he couldn't, tried to save a little bit, and then actually realized he couldn't. And now he's going down pit road with 48 laps to go. So I don't understand his strategy. I'm a bit confused. I don't know.
Yeah, not what I don't know. You're right.
Yeah, I'm confused here.
Not what we were expecting. So he's going to go a lap down as the cars go around him.
I can't even spin this.
Yeah, he's so a miscalculation.
Dodson! What? Dodson! Come on, man! You gotta wait!
No, did he wreck off the apron?
No. Oh, he did! I think he did. Oh my god, I was yelling at Dodson. I was yelling at Dodson not because of the caution, but because I was like, you literally were just out in pit road if you waited a lap. But no, he was the cause of the caution. Unfortunately, he clipped that apron. Oh no, Dodson. Spun around and then took a toe.
No, that doesn't look good. We'll probably look at that after the race there. Dodson trying to get off pit road here, and
right there.
The apron, car goes around, and the caution's out. So, all right, all that stuff we were just talking about out of the window. I think everyone on the track should be able to hit the window now. Even the guys that were burning up fuel. Excuse me. Even if you were unable to hit that that 267 number, you're probably close enough. Oh, and down they come. So I guess maybe not. Everyone's going to top off on the fuel here at least.
I would take tires as well.
Take tires. Now, here's the thing. We haven't done a lot of running. If you just came down, there could be a potential for a 2-tire stop here. As a couple guys, looks like they stay out before the wave around. I think I saw Jamie not going around there up on the track. So, yeah, could see some potential 2-tire stops. I think it's too many laps to kind of hold anybody off for that, but we will see. Let's see. Left's going up for a lot of people. Yep. Cars come down. Yep. Right's on, left's on. All right. So everyone looks like they're taking 2 sets of tires. As JST
Matt Long
there.
Jedi Taylor. Wait, where did he come from?
Well, I don't know where.
14.5 second pit stop. Wait, was he up front? Okay, I'm so confused as to what's going on. I was mostly focusing on the 2 because I just couldn't wrap my head around his strategy. Was Jedi Taylor one of those drivers that were just pushing it and expecting a caution or hoping that everybody would go down pit road? Because I don't recall seeing his name up front.
And all the action that we were talking about and working out the future, I don't recall him being up front.
Oh, let's bring him up. Is he in here? He is.
Actually, let's grab Nolan here since he's having a good run. I was just about to pull.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. All right, let's bring him up.
So we'll bring down the 12. We'll bring down the 12 car to get a word with Nolan Hodson real quick. All right, Nolan Hodson, Tabar's in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Nolan. Well, look, we saw that you played it easy there in the first couple stages, and then started to show your pace here in stage 3, running up in that top 5. Got a lot of support here in the YouTube chat, so a lot of people here out to root for the number 12 car. We were conversing about you being able to make the number, or if you were, you saw you come down and top off, but all that's out the window. We've gotten the late caution, so here you are. You find yourself up right now, up in the 3rd and 4th position. Kind of what's the outlook here for the race, and what do you think you can get out of this one tonight?
Well, I mean, really, I think it's all, about the last 5 laps. Everybody's going to be, single file, that type of deal, just trying to, feed off each other's draft. Draft is really important here. If you can make the outside work, that's also really important. I'm going to try to do that and, get the best finish as I can.
All right, 10-4. Well, it looks like you might be hunting that first win. Do we think that's on the cards tonight?
Well, I definitely feel like I have the short-term speed. You know, got to find a way to, you know, make my car last the whole run. You know, with this nice 40-lap run here that we got is pretty good for the kind of car I got tonight. So I'll try my hardest. We'll see if we can pull this one off.
All right, 10-4, sir. Well, good luck to you for the rest of the race. Hopefully talking to you a little bit later. Good luck on the rest of your race.
Thank you.
All right, Nolan Hodgson out of the booth. I'm just looking here on the ticker here. So it looks like we got Jamie. That's waiting for. Okay, he's already got the wait on. So he's gone away, and we'll be under control of Matt Long and Jedi Taylor here, who is starting on the top row. So yeah, Jedi coming from nowhere in that 41 Supreme car, Carlos. I don't recall him being, but he could have been again. There's a lot of comers and goers there with the fuel savers versus the fuel stoppers there at the last end of the stage. So maybe was on the way up in the series. Lucas Hoytsma is back on the track for those about here for the 07. So he's down in 19th again, caught up in that issue with the 02. As Adam Benefield on the radio, not happy with the broadcast. And just so you know, Adam, I think that 2021 championship was a fluke. We all know that's Delaney's championship. See you in the Wendy's parking lot after the race. Come at me, bro. So as the pace car lights on the pace car are off, as we're getting ready to go, it's money time here. As he's laughing on the radio. So it's money time here. 40 laps to go in the Herp is forever. So we got 44 to go here, working at 267. We'll see if any more cautions get. Everyone should be good on fuel. Everyone should be good on tires. As we are now under the control of Matt Long, which I believe is your control card. He is away. Not a great start from the 41. Checks up the top line. Unfortunately, Derek Heitman has to get out of it 3 wide now in the back so that he does not come under the ire of race control with the changing lane rule. So 3 wide we go back here with Gitter. SOBJ is now on the move, so he's running as high as he's run all day, fighting here for the 7th position. Or excuse me, 8th position here, as they are 3 wide and fanning out all over the track. So the 5 car, Bobby Anderson, is finally back up front. So he's in 8th position after some damage earlier, put him back in the field, trying to figure out that car setup. He was our pole sitter when we came in tonight, one of our round of 8 competitors, trying to fight his way into the championship 4. Is they're going to go 3 wide again. SOBJ trying to force it under Patrick Gitter. Door closes, unable to do it, and he will ride behind. But up top, Derek Heitman's making speed, getting a run here on the 5 car. Does he pull out? Doesn't have enough room. He does, as he dives down into the bottom on the number 5 of Bobby Anderson into turn 4. So up 1 position for Derek Heitman. Out front, Long still has 1/10 over Adam Benefield in the 83 car in 3rd. Andrew Dice is now back up front, Carlos, after some pit cycles. I don't know what put him in the back of the field, but he was back in 19th or so for quite a while, back in the back with Matt DiCiani. He is now back up front after having a good stage 1, stage 2. We know he has some long run pace, not quite as strong as the 6 car, but certainly enough to threaten for the win. So we'll keep an eye on him. Jedi Taylor is already back down the 5th, so going backwards the wrong direction. For the 41 machine. Nolan Hodgson remains in 6th position as we watch on screen here.
There you go for the lead. Side by side there, Long and Benefield going at it. Benefield hanging out towards the back in the first half of the race, moving his way up in the last half, and finally retakes that lead. Well, actually, he led a bit earlier in the race, but confirmed to have the lead now at this point. Matt Long not going to really force the issue at this point with 40 laps to go when they cross the line. Or excuse me, right now 39 when they cross the line. But Benefield to the lead, and he's looking quite strong with pretty much the race dominating Jonathan Delaney down in 7th, as that strategy he had didn't really seem to work out, as a lot of these drivers got caught unaware with the like some influx of cautions coming out in this last half of the race.
Yeah, definitely a wrench in the works there for a lot of the guys that had it all figured out and master planned out. But again, that's why you never know, man. That's why we don't race on paper, right? We race on the racetrack, and things will happen that throw a wrench in the plan. And all these crew chiefs, again, some of these drivers, I saw Jeffrey Souza in the session a little bit earlier, who is typically a crew chief race engineer for a few of his guys that he supports in the league. So some of these guys will have support in the Discord where they don't have a guy, they have a guy that's not in the car and just there to work out fuel strategy, keep an eye on their competitors and all that good stuff. But then a lot of these guys don't have that, right? They are the crew chief, they are the race engineer in the car and the driver. So they're doing it on the fly in real time. Some will have some overlays, things like that kind of assist with that. But for the most part, it's all on them, right? So they got to get the car right and then go out and execute it as well.
Long back to the lead, by the way.
Yep, long back out front. Yep, a bright back of Adam Benefield. So maybe doing a little bit of saving here and not wanting to burn this stuff up. So they have this front 3 breakaway as we got a 3 wide TV replay. So some action here back in the. Oh, nope, just watching.
This is for the lead, yeah, that we missed it, unfortunately.
Yep, pass for the lead. So this is what happened moments ago. Just a run, just a power move by Matt Long. So just faster pace coming out of the turn. Again, maybe Adam Benefield saving some tire. It wouldn't be a fuel issue here at all for Adam. But as we see Andrew Dyson now, as we go on the roof cam of him, he's also looking on the outside of Adam Benefield. So maybe issues, maybe a foot for the 83 machine. We will see here. But again, this little 3-car breakaway is about a second or half a second out in front of Alex Murray, who's kind of leading that second pack. Jason Taylor has worked his way back up to the 5th position, followed by John Delaney. So that second pack getting a little bit organized as they're racing a little bit harder here. Looks like they put Nolan Hodson there on. There's more racing for the lead here as Adam Benefield. Oh, no, not
for second.
Dyson. Yeah, Dyson going around for second place on Adam Benefield there. As we're seeing guys put themselves in position, we're on lap 233 of 267, 35 to go. 5 cautions on the night here so far. So hopefully we can get to run this out the rest of the green flag. Something we haven't talked about a whole lot. The track temp right now is down to 80 degrees. I think it's down about 10 or so, 11 degrees from earlier. It was in the 90s when we got started here earlier tonight. So the track temp is continuing to fall here at Las Vegas as we work these 267 laps with 34 to go here left in the race. Just doing a check on where our playoff competitors are. So that round of 8, we've touched on Dyson, on Murray, Delaney and Gitter are 6th and 7th. Bobby Anderson, who was a little up front, is already back down to 12th. So better than he was, but again, losing a little bit of ground on 5 or 6 of those guys in front of him. DeCiani is still down in 14th. So Anderson, SOBJ, and DeCiani looks like they've fallen back quite a bit since the restart here. And they're followed by 15th. So Jim Schofield, again, Rookie of the Year competitor, trying to catch Dyson in that competition that runs all 36 races. And Lucas Hoitzman, again, with the damage, again, with just that unfortunate incident with Mark Padgett earlier in the race, is down to 20th. So on the racetrack, he's about 17 seconds back. So it looks like that car is still some damage. So he's just trying to get all he can out of this position. So he'll be looking to Homestead and Martinsville to try to make his way into that championship 4. A little action here up front. Yep, Kyle Ammon is there making their way around. I believe Kyle is not lap car. He's running in 14th place.
Yeah, 21st and back is a lap. Is 1 lap down, and then as Lucas Hoitzman goes down pair of roads, that's going to change up who's a lap down, who's not. Tanner Marty 1 lap down. Jamie Knopf is the last driver out on track, and he's 4 laps down. But Lucas Hoitzman will be going at least 1 lap down. Unfortunately, he had a strong run today. Got caught up in an incident that kind of brought on a short string of cautions. So heavy damage to playoff driver Lucas Hoitzman, whose night will definitely not be going really how he really deserved it to go.
Yeah, again, just unfortunate, again, from my point, just unacceptable.
Oh, actually, that's interesting. He has a meatball flag that got cleared instantly as soon as he stopped in a pit road. He had like a 1-second meatball flag. So I'm not sure what the reason was, but he has already left pit road and he's getting back out on track.
Yeah, probably just some more. I imagine that car is not handling the best right now for Lucas Hoitzman, 07 machine. So likely, I'm guessing he's probably just rubbing the wall or something like that. And again, cumulative damage model here in iRacing. So you can, even if you get it cleared, you can re-trigger some of that damage, and probably just had to come down and get it fixed.
Hoitzma in the YouTube chat actually wrote tire blue, so that would explain why.
Oh yeah, so once your tire gets down to, is it still 0%? It might be 5 or something like that now. But once your tire grip gets below a certain percentage or hits 0, It doesn't actually blow, right? It doesn't render the blowout like we thought we saw earlier with Dyson. But it does go flat, right? You will hear bang. The car will kind of lean to one side, that kind of thing, and then you'll lose all grip. So if you try to go into the corner, it'll, whatever tire has lost all that grip will just kind of not support the car. So, but yeah, so Tire Blue had to get a change of tires there on Lucas Hortzma's machine. I think he is back. Yeah, he is back. He did come back out on the track.
Yeah,
he's back out. So I see him in the back of the pack there. So, okay. So anyway, let's check in. So lap 241, the situation here, 27 to go. Matt Long is your leader. Well, I believe it was one of Vegas. I think he won Spring Vegas, I want to say, last year maybe? I don't think it was this year. But a force to be reckoned with on some of these mile and a halves, and this is definitely up his alley here. Andrew Dyson right behind him in second position. So again, Andrew Dyson, we know him as kind of the road course ace here and a favorite to win every road course we go to. I've got a couple of those road course wins this year with, I believe, Sonoma and also won the Roval last week. But as we talked about last week, look, he and also Neil Pearson, so the two Australian representatives here in the field, have stepped up their game quite a bit on the ovals as well. So he's doing a great job to, again, try to fight his way into the championship 4 here in the 100% Cup Series. Andrew Dyson. Adam Benefield right behind Andrew. So the top 3 still stuck together with a little bit of a gap over the next car. And look who that is. That's Alex Murray, Project eSports in the 22 car, trying to make his way and bridge the gap up here to the top 3. And he's pulling along John Delaney. Not sure you want to do that as Adam Benefield looks to the high side here of the 04 machine, trying to drive down a little bit deeper. Door to door they go through turn 1 and 2. And he's going to be able to clear him on the high side. So Dyson probably live to fight another day as he lets Adam Benefield go and keep his spot here in the top 3. So something to watch though, Carlos. We got the 22 car, bridges his way up to the top 3. He's chugging along. He's bringing along John Delaney. John Delaney, we know, has a pretty fast car. Jedi Taylor's still up here too in 6th position. So he's also trying to hold on to these 2 that are bridging the gap. But he may be going the wrong way here as he's got a little bit of a queue behind him forming up. Looks like that's Nolan Hodgson, who's now on the high side in the 12 Brent car. So he's going to go around Jason S. Taylor here in the back. And they are racing for 6th position. 23 to go here on the track as JST and also Patrick Gitter. Yep, I don't know. Is that Gitter? Yep, that's Gitter.
Yeah.
Every time I see that car, I'm like, all right, it's one of them. It's either Matt or Pat. It's got to be one. But they were side by side as well, racing behind them. So Gitter trying to make his way back up into the top 5. Again, Gitter always a staple here in the top 10 as we have a challenge for the lead. Adam Benefield is now ready to reassume the lead of the race as he is diving underneath that 97 of Matt Long. So door to door they go through 3 and 4. A little bit of loose for the 97. He has to gather it up there momentarily. That should give him a little bit of an advantage to the 83 car, but it doesn't look like it's a total advantage because they're going to drag race down into 1 and 2. Into 1 they go. Andrew Dyson just watching this and hoping for a mistake, guys. Yes, somebody please door each other, make a mistake, maybe lose the car, put me 1 position up. Defending on that top line is Matt Long. He's able to hold off with that top line momentum that's gained running that middle lane. So we talked about that at Las Vegas. You can run all 3 lines here at Las Vegas to effect and use them in certain tactical situations. Looks like Matt Long is doing just that. So not ready to relinquish that lead to Adam Benefield in the 83 Mardon Chevrolet as the 04 dives down to the bottom. So he's trying to run. It's a good shot here, Carlos. So you see that he's trying to run the bottom when they're on the middle, keep some cool air onto that 04 nose to make his to extend the life of those front tires, because in the dirty air you will feel the effects. Got to turn a little bit tighter when you're behind the 2 cars in dirty air.
And you saw right there when you were explaining how previously he was running the middle to keep it just a little bit of air. He actually ran right the same line that 83 did, and we saw that the car got tight and started drifting up. And so, perfect example of what was happening is 83's got a great run at the exit corner, going into 3 and 4, trying to get the lead. As these are both non-current playoff drivers, they're slipping and sliding. Are we in Atlanta?
Right. So the battle continues here between the 83 and the 97. Again, yeah, as you mentioned, not playoff drivers trying to get the check flag here. It probably will hurt a little bit for Adam Benefield if he's able to get the win tonight, because he was eliminated after hitting the incident limit at the Roval, after having a good race going there as well. But the 97 and 83 continue to swap positions as they fight with 18 to go, trying to secure the check flag here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. John Delaney has made his way around Andrew Dyson, so he is up into the third position, and this is the guy they got to be worried about. You got to think here, Carlos. So you might want to go into teamwork mode here to try to keep this 6 car behind them, because we know what he has on the long run and short run. So definitely one of the cars to beat. But what he won't know is what exactly Adam Benefield has under the hood, right? Adam has kind of paced himself. This is really the first time we've seen him fight to stay at the lead up front. In front of the car, so that should be an interesting battle if he can get to it, but that's not a foregone conclusion. He's got to get through that 97 to even have a shot at the win, and we're 17 to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and Andrew Dyson looks like he's beginning to fall back a little bit, so that car is beginning this handling trouble we've seen all night. Good for the first 15 laps, and then begins to fall off just a little bit, so he's continuing to lose positions. A little further back as Alex Murray is now going to get around him. So that's one more spot up for Alex Murray. He's now in the top 5 for the Project eSports entry here in the 22.
Oh, loosey-goosey! Well, he tried to hold him off as well as he could. Unfortunately, the 97 is a little loosey-goosey right now, and that number 6 is about as snug as a bug in a rug going through the corners.
Hey, he's a poet, didn't know it. So the 6 cars in position. So here's the fight. Here it is. 15 to go. These guys aren't going to want to see any more cautions. We're not sure of the tire situation between everybody. 8 sets when we came into tonight. We've had 5 cautions here, 2 of those being stage breaks. So, and I think a couple of green flag stops we've been able to get through. So, unclear on the tire situation of who has how many sets in the pit wall. I would imagine everyone has at least 1 here left as we pull up the pit in the lap graphics here. But this is the fight for potentially the win. I don't see anybody really making time on these 2 right now. But Delaney is now in the dirty air of the 83 as they fight for the win here with 14 to go. Again, a quick check-in on your playoff drivers. Murray Gitter is in 3rd position, right behind the battle. Who he's fighting with as you look off the back end of, well, we were looking off the back end of John Delaney. He's fighting with Patrick Gitter, Matt Long right now. So Gitter and Long fighting for the 3rd position. So they're swapping around here. Alex Murray is currently in your 5th position.
Oh, in the wall!
Also in the fray. Oh, into the wall, some smoke. They all have to clear off of. Looks like we all.
Gitter hit the wall.
Going. Yep, Gitter loses some spots here. Is the 12 car of Nolan Hodson as they go door to door as Nolan's walking up the track, but gives everybody room, a little loose. And Derek Heitman's going to take him 3 wide. So Prodigy on Prodigy sandwich on Nolan Hodson here as they're all still in the back bumper of Gitter. He doesn't seem like he's been able to get going after scraping the wall there. So maybe fight some handling issues here in that 4th position in the 21 machine. But still up front, we're watching Benefield and Delaney. So Delaney was your stage 1 winner? Did he win both stages?
Yeah, he won both. That's why his number plate is golden, because he has swept both stages.
Right, he's the only one I see. So, okay, so both stages he is swept. So definitely have showing he's had the long run car. But again, Adam Benefield has been laying away. We heard the interview from John Delaney earlier in the race. This is the guy he was worried about. He thought Adam might have a little something for him, and looks like that's coming to fruition. But as we continue to watch the battle back here for the 5th, 6th, and 7th position, Nolan Hodson just found himself in the hornet's nest. As Gitter looks like he has figured it back out and gotten back around these guys. Andrew Dyson is now trying to work on that 12 machine of Nolan Hodson. And Derek Heitman on Matt Long, so the 97 car on a slight slide back, or maybe 76 is just coming forward. So your D2 winner last night here on Friday night at the Xfinity Link race, Derek Heitman is trying to make his way to get into that battle for the win. As we're seeing there, again, Benefield, Delaney, Heitman, Long, Gitter, your top 5 here on lap 258 with 10 to go. Left in the race here at the Herpes Forever 400 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we work to completion here of the first race of the round of 8. And John Delaney looking low here on Adam Benefield. Nope, just getting clean air on the nose maybe. Unable to make the move, falls back in line as we work down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4.
Ooh, Delaney kind of clipped that white line maybe a little too hard, got a bit of a just slightly bad exit as he had to walk that car up, got a little loose there. But Delaney has the speed. The question is he going to kill his tires trying to get past Benefield? Because it seems like the rest of the field, Hype and Long Getter, all those guys behind them, are kind of gaining on these two guys. As, you know, if Delaney does get the lead, can even hold off Hypeman behind us. Hypeman's looking to the inside here in 3 and 4.
Yep. Challenge for a second position. So, and John Lenny goes all the way to the top. He's going to run the rim here and try to hold off that advance from Derek Heitman to keep that momentum and stay with Adam Benefield as we go on the in-car machine. So it looks like he has kept that position from Derek Heitman. Adam Benefield, this is what he wants to see. You know, I'm shocked to see, Carlos, that we're not seeing Adam Benefield aero block per se and run where John Delaney's running. He's kind of been running that middle lane, allowing Delaney to run the bottom and keep clean air on the nose. Look, we know Adam is savvy enough to know that he can disrupt how that car is handling, unless his car just doesn't handle perhaps on the bottom like Delaney's will. So,
Delaney's tight.
Here as we work to 6 to go. But again, we saw Delaney deploy that top shelf line that we talked about. We haven't really seen anybody run the very top, but it is viable for a defense maneuver, which he was able to pull off. As Matt Long is now still putting pressure on the 76 of Derek Heitman. So they're catching it from all sides. You got to try to catch the guy up front. The guy behind you is trying to catch you to put themselves in position for the win. So a very close competition up here. All 4 drivers within a second. So a blanket over, or the first 6 drivers.
I
throw under a blanket here.
I just remembered something. I was criticizing Heitman's vehicle and his ability or lack of ability of short run speed and how tight the vehicle was. And I said as Delaney smacks the outside wall, I said as Heitman, if he has a long run, I expect to see him do well. But anything short run wise, I don't expect to see him pass. And Sure enough, we have a long run, and look at Heitman battling for second. Has second now over Delaney, who smacked the outside wall. I think it's safe to say that car and the tire is possibly done. Heitman has a good car right now, has the long run speed. He might be able to get past the number 83 of Benefield for this race win. And kind of, essentially, you know, it proved me right as Benefield gives him too much speed and accident in the corner.
Oh no! Trouble for Adam Benefield as Derek Heitman's going to take the lead of this race in turn 4. Yes, he is. He clears Adam Benefield after having trouble off of turn 2. Well, that's going to put now Heitman's sliding off of turn 4. At full send, 3 laps to go here as he tries to get back to the quarter panel. Here in the front, Adam Benefield on top, Derek Heitman on the bottom. John Delaney is watching. As Pearson
went off track. Oh no, Heitman!
Loose again, so trying to get everything off of turn 2. These guys are holding down. That tells me that they've got the full. Usually you want to come out of usually in the run as we work to 2 to go, popsicle sticks will be in the air this time. More contact, more tightness from the 6 car, almost getting into it with the 97 of Matt Long. So right now, Benefield, Delaney, Heitman, Long, all fighting for your race win. A little bit of gap here to Adam Benefield, so a little shelter here from the Hornets nets, and he was just in another tap in the back there from, I don't know, Gitter maybe in the back. Yep. Yeah. So Gitter, another wall tap for him because these guys are giving it everything they can off of exit, but the car just washes off. It's so hard to time the apex of the corners in 1 and 2 as we're white flag to go here. Adam Benefield, 0.3 seconds ahead of John Delaney, who's now under attack and under threat from Derek Heitman, who's trying to pull away that second position. This is what the 83 car wants to see. This will all but secure him if he can get off of turn 3 and 4, the win for him, but the fight for second continues. John Delaney, who again is a round of 8 playoff driver. Derek Heitman, as they go door to door, tight, no quarter given, as they're rubbing off of turn 4. They're going to hit the wall. No, they keep it clean. He's going to run them up high, but Adam Benefield is going to be your winner as 3rd, 4th, and 5th, or 2nd, 3rd, and 4th all across the line under a blanket. They're hard racing here at the end of Las Vegas, but Adam Benefield is your winner. Again, the car that John Delaney was worried about was able to execute and pull it off, was in a little trouble, had some adversity the last few laps, but pulls it off, Carlos, and comes away with the checkered flag.
What a race indeed. Benefield, after making a mistake on the backstretch, the next lap pressed L2 to intimidate against number 76 of Heitman, and that was pretty much it for Benefield and anybody else trying to compete against him. Got enough of a lead to not have to worry about it, and then Delaney and Heitman are battling for second place, kind of put the final nail on the coffin that allowed the 83 to get a very bittersweet victory, as yes, he's won but maybe if he didn't get DQ'd out from the Roval last week, could he have advanced and then possibly already locked himself in for the final race at home? Phoenix.
Yeah, this will be bittersweet, right? You've gotten the job done here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We always know, look, Adam Benefield's a threat to win every race here in the series. But yeah, that'll sting just a little bit, knowing that if you could have completed the Roval and gotten through that race, you would have advanced into the round of 8, and this would have punched your ticket again for the championship 4. I think that Adam Benefield has competed in the championship 4 every year he's competed. Maybe barring 20. I think he joined in the last he joined in maybe the last 7 races or so. But every full season he's competed in competition, he has made the championship 4. So this is the first time he's out of it. So yeah, look, that'll sting a little bit. But again, hold your head high. That that means that your mile-and-a-half program is working as expected, right? Because again, you still have teammates that are in the hunt for the championship. And again, you can still prove to everybody that the old man still got it. So the balding bullet comes away with another victory here in the 100% Cup Series. So that will round out the race. Let's just go through the results real quick as we get ready for the post-race show. So as you saw that Adam Benefield, Delaney, Heitman, Long, Gitter were your top 5. Murray, Dyson were 6th, 7th, and then as you see on screen, 8th was Nolan Hodgson. Matt DiCiani made his way back up to 9th, and a pretty good recovery as well for Bobby Anderson, who made his way up into 10th, who struggled kind of that middle phase of the race, but able to come back up. So 2 playoff drivers there, DiCiani and Anderson. Schofield in 11th. Kyle Ammon, I believe that is in 12th. Sean O'Brien Jr., 13th. Jedi Taylor, Randy Drumhiller in 15th. Mark Paget, 16th. Wayne Grass is 16th. Oh, no, it's not Paget. Daniel Simmons. I'm sorry, that was in 12th position. Kyle Ammons in 18th. Tanner Marty in 19th. Neil Pearson rounds out the top 20. Lucas Hoytsma, unfortunate race for him. He finishes 21st. Jamie Knopf, Carl Dodson, Jeff Chandler, and Dalton Mobley round out the top 25 there, those last 4. So having issues and being a lap down. So that's your finishers for the race. As we will get a word with our 3rd place finisher here, which I believe was Derek Heitman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one guy I didn't grab. 1 second. Let me get him down here in the waiting room. Prodigy. There he is. So we'll move him into the booth. And here we go.
Corner.
All right, Derek Heitman, Stabaris in the booth. You got a copy?
I sure do.
Well, Derek, you round out a hell of a weekend here tonight. So winning last night in D2 and then coming here with the top 3 finish, fighting for the win there at the end. I know Carlos questioned kind of if we would see the same kind of pace with you tonight, but you're able to show that. So tell us about your race, man, how it came together, and how did you feel being able to secure that 3rd place finish?
I mean, it was an absolutely fantastic night. I felt like there was ups and downs to this race. I tried running full all-out pace, I think, in the 2nd stage just to see where I was going to end up, what it was going to end up, what was going to happen. I wouldn't say I was full out pace, but I was driving it in a heck of a lot deeper than I really was there in the 3rd stage. I just wanted to see how the tires were going to work out. So start of stage 3, when I really had a gauge of that, I felt like just riding around and really taking care of my throttle control in the corners to save tires the best that I could in order to have a shot at the win. That's all I could really ask for. I felt like I was definitely the fastest car on the track at the very end, and as soon as I got the lead, I absolutely blew it and about lost it off the corner. So fortunate that I saved it and I was still able to pull out a P3 finish and have another exciting finish with John to the line. But man, I really feel like I let one slip away tonight.
Yeah, you definitely were strong there at the end. Well, you touched on all the points. We saw you, not just you, right? The whole top 3 trying to hold on to their track position or sliding off the edge of the corner. So guys are definitely fighting with cars to get every little bit of performance out that you could. But again, come away with another with the podium here. Again, so a great weekend here for Project eSports and yourself. and we look forward to you, I guess, making another run at Homestead. So, obviously you're not in the playoffs currently, but a strong mile and a half finish for you. You expect you do the same thing here at Homestead coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that we have another strong car next week. I absolutely know that we will, and I'm doing everything I can out here to try to help Alex out with the point situation. Obviously, it doesn't help him, with me taking points away from him, finishing in third place, but I was trying to do everything I could to make sure, no offense, John, that a playoff driver didn't win the race, and we kept it all rolling. But I definitely like to thank NAMI, Northern Alliance for Mental Illness, for their continued research and dedication to those with mental illnesses. I'd also thank, obviously got to thank No Kid Hungry for rolling around as the primary sponsor on the car. They donate over 10,000 meals to children all around the world every single day. And then last but not least, I got to thank Ken Byron and Ryko Performance for giving us the power underneath the hood to really, set me up with the position, all the support that I get throughout the week in order to have this opportunity to compete for this win tonight. So thank you guys.
All right, so that's Derek Heitman, third place finish. So excellent race for you, Derek. Always fascinating to hear the podcast break ad there, but professional as always. So good run tonight, man. We look for you at Homestead, and hopefully we're talking to you again with another good run.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so Derek Heitman out of the booth, so your third place finisher. Let's get a word with the man, the myth, the legend, the 84-hour work week man himself, John Delaney here. John, it's DeMars in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, dominated the first phase of the race, John. So with 2-stage victories, we saw you execute strategy of breaking the draft and using that first 10 laps to kind of get a second half lap on the field, which worked to perfection. A couple cautions, group the field back up, and looks like the guy that you're worried about is the man that you should have been worried about, so he gets the win. But a strong finish and hard racer from you, Benefield and Heitman there at the end. So tell us how your race came together and how that end of the race was for you.
Yeah, Vegas is always one of my better tracks. It's a track I enjoy more than the rest. So, kind of going in here, it's fun to drive and don't really mind too much. And after doing a lot of laps in the B car here, there was some similarity in the two cars. So I was kind of able to just kind of ride, and I did try something in the second stage there, going all out for a lap or two and just trying to break the draft, and then from there kind of just managing the second and a half to 1.3 second lead so that they aren't getting my draft. So that I was playing with that. If I would have went all out there at the end, probably still wouldn't have been able to break it because everyone's going all out pretty much. So it would have been hard to get the lead and break it. But I just didn't have the drive or ability to turn down as good as I was the rest of the race. It was just a little too tight with the track temp dropping. So that was really the main reason. But it was a good race. I won both stages and was the highest playing playoff driver. So gonna assume I got a pretty good lead going into the next two races, so I don't have to stress too hard about those, and we can go and just kind of slide into the last round 4.
Yeah, ever important to get that points buffer. So yeah, you're definitely best finishing playoff driver of tonight. And we had quite a few that had some issues. Hoytsma and again Anderson and DeCiani were down through the field. But yeah, you talked about also you didn't get the win, so you don't quite punch your ticket. But showing that you have strength on the mile and a half. So again, we're going to Homestead next. So I guess that should suit you the same kind of similar deal here. Is going to be a draft dependent track, multi-lane track, just like Vegas. But look, unlike some of the other guys in the series, right? We know that you are competing to get to the professional level, so you kind of got double duty here, man. How are you going to be able to maintain this performance as we go through the playoffs? So you got the points buffer, which is what you need, but we still got Homestead and Homestead and Martinsville coming up. So how are we looking for the next two races, and with kind of your other obligations you got going on within eSports?
Yeah, hopefully we'll be all right. I've been driving this car long enough to where I don't really need too much practice to get a handle of it. I went the drop of the green flag today. I probably had 30 laps of race practice and probably 2 laps of the actual set that I ran. So I didn't have too much practice. I am pretty busy with the contender series running that. So we got Homestead and Martinsville. I think Homestead will be all right, kind of like how we were at Vegas, and Martinsville we should be able just to hopefully grab a top 10 there or something. So stay out of the wrecks there. We'll be all right.
All right, 10-4. Well, John Delaney, second place finisher here tonight, still hunting that second championship here. So looking good, John. Again, hopefully we're talking to you at Homestead with another good finish. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Shout out here.
Yeah, I thank you guys up in the booth, Carlos and Mars. Appreciate you guys broadcasting.
Don't mention it, bud.
Everyone who raced tonight had a good time. Everyone at Apex. Kevin, Beal for the paint scheme, Coney, Lockdown Racing, everyone else watching at home, Stent Analyzer. That'll be it. Thank you.
All right, 10-4. Well, again, hopefully we're talking to you at Homestead, and good luck on the rest of your championship campaign.
Thank you.
All right, let's get the man in here. So winner circle, the balding bullet himself, the 2021 championship winner, Adam Benefield, joining the booth. Adam Benefield's to Marson booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Adam, again, hell of a finish, man. We saw all the top 3. You guys were sliding all over the place, trying to hold each other off and keep the momentum to keep your track position. So between you, Delaney, and Heitman, we're just switching all around, man. Top-notch racing. You did everything you needed to do. You didn't even need 4 of the guys to help you out with Delaney this time, so getting it done yourself. But nah, man, look, a phenomenal race. We saw you buying your time early in the race. We're kind of in the booth suspecting that's kind of your MO usually is, it's not just the speed, it's the brains as well. And putting it all together here to work through the stages and the caution. So tell us how your race came together, man, and how you were able to put together and go up there and grab the checker flag.
We had a lot it went good, but we had to come from the back early. I got told I was blinking, so that's why I pulled down lap 1 to let everybody go. Got that fixed. But we just took our time. Yeah, y'all know how I do it. Take my time and try to figure out where everybody's struggling at and whatnot, and see how they're pacing and how they fall off, and try to adjust to it. So found our way up there. I knew Matt was gonna shoot out of a cannon, and I just wanted to try to put pressure on him, and I was a little bit better. I realized that I was a little bit better in 3 and 4, and if I set it up correctly, that I could make him overdrive entry and it would get me by him. And from then I felt like if I got out front, I knew that I knew Delaney was going to come, but I also had a feeling that Heitman was going to be the other one. I knew Murray was quick, but I had a feeling that Heitman was going to be really good. He's really, well, I guess he's went to the Adam Benefield School of Driving and learned how to be fast on long runs. So he come flying up there like a bat out of hell, and I knew if I got out front, I could just try to aero block and do everything I could. And I thought I was going to be okay, and I hit one bump, the final little bump in 2, and it shot the car sideways, and Derek got by me, and I don't know what he did, but the second he got by me, he made a mistake. And so I was trying to make sure I don't hit him and try to block Delaney at the same time, and hell, it worked out and was able to get the win.
Yeah, we actually happened a couple times. So as soon as he got the front air the fresh air on his nose, the next 2 corners, he just was doing everything he could to. I figured he was tight and trying to keep it off the wall, and just overcorrected, and when you get loose, it just shoots you down to the Jeff Gordon VIP section there, to the safety wall entrance.
Yeah.
But Yeah, man. Look. As always, executed perfectly. You know, we talked about the booth too. Unfortunate, right? So a little bittersweet for you, I'm sure, as your championship campaign ended at the Roval with the DQ, and then to come into the round of 8 and immediately, let the guys know that, hey, look, I'm still Adam Benefield. I'm still got the speed and stake your claim to Las Vegas. But there's also that little bit in the background of like what could have been for the return of the 2021 champ, right?
Oh yeah, I'm just letting them know that I'm him. I'm him. So no, it does suck. Me and Dustin talked about it, and me and Delaney were talking about it too. Like, out of all the rounds in the playoffs, like this is always the round that does it for me. Like these 3 tracks, Vegas, Homestead, and Martinsville, are always my really good tracks. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it does stink because we had a good year in the Martin PC Chevrolet, but I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool if I swept all 3 races and made the Final 4 get in on points. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, the PayPal's open, man, so anything's possible, right? But yeah, another good run, man. Congratulations on the win tonight, Adam. Doing it, and not only did you do it, you did it Adam Benefield style, man. So biding your time, and then when it was time to go, you went. So any shout outs you want to give here for the guys that help you get it done on the track?
Yeah, Martin PC as always. Ray CPI, Patrick Gitter, and Dustin Hall, and Kyle Ammon. Dustin couldn't be with us tonight. He had other obligations, but he was watching, and I got to give a shout out to my wife. Yesterday was our 11th wedding anniversary, so happy anniversary to her. That's why I wasn't here last night, but she let me get in here tonight and play around.
Smart decision. So, well, shout out to you. Happy anniversary to the Benefield household. Again, it's good, amazing thing to see. I mean, look, that's a lot of work in and of itself, and then you somehow find time, your dad as well, and eSports obligations, and you find time to mess around with us on Saturday. So anyway, we appreciate you. Congratulations on the win, Adam. And again, PayPal's open if we want to do some Jeff Gordon playoff fixing around there. But
all right.
But yeah, hopefully we're talking to you, Homestead, and with another good run.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, so Adam Benefield, our debut. So, yeah, man, I think just kind of let's wrap up here and final thoughts, at least for me, Carlos. Look, that might have been the best race of the season, quite honestly. I know I haven't been up at the booth for many of them, but just trying to recall on the watch backs. We've had a few bangers, don't get me wrong, and oddly enough, the road courses have probably been some of our better races, but that one there was probably that recent memory that I can remember on the mile and a half. That was a banger all the way through. So we had the stage cautions in stage 1, Delaney doing Delaney things, but then stage 3 came around. There was a fuel window episode, so we thought that we might have to thought we might see a fuel mileage race, but unfortunately the couple cautions we got there at the end, and that all went away, and it was a straight up race between the fastest guys. So but all in all, a good race. Couldn't ask for more. Again, good, hard, clean racing. Again, a couple alibis there for, again, unfortunate what happened to the 07 car. So but we roll into Miami Homestead for next week's race. TBD if there will be a broadcast. Again, we may have some guys attending the actual race. So but we'll let you know here on our YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. We'll let you know during the week if we shall be back. But yeah, I think best race of the year. Carlos, what do you got?
That was definitely an enjoyable race. For sure, I think best one of the year. For sure, best oval of the year. I know we've had some really great road races. I do think that this one is the best overall one. That was fun. Yeah, the fuel strategy would have been great to see, how it would have gone, but the race we still got in general was fantastic. Almost as good as the fuel strategy we probably would have gotten.
Yeah, absolutely. You had to, I mean, it was again, all the way through we were kind of clocking what was going on from beginning to end. So hopefully, look, we can do it again next week at Homestead. Again, we'll let you know about the broadcast, but the guys will be there regardless. And if not, we'll definitely see you at Martinsville. So signing off from 3 Wide TV, it's DeMar Singlebottom in the booth, Carlos Costa on the buttons. And we will say good night to you, race fans, and we will see you in a week or two. Good night.